Sanford.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, for some
Cool.
reason I bought one on Lark at a thrift store, and that's my only pencil sharpener.
Yeah, mine too. You only need one, right?
Pretty much. I don't even know if you need one.
I don't even think you do either.
Joe's eating a burrito.
Oh,
Yes,
I had
I
one
am.
today. John made me one for breakfast. That was
Yep, so
good.
that green chili burrito.
It's yeah, it is. In fact,
I figured as much.
bacon, scrambled eggs, green chili. Oh yeah,
There you go.
cheese,
Nice.
and of course Tang, because the
Tang.
astronauts went to the moon with Tang.
Uh,
Because I like sugar for breakfast.
yeah.
So I got my Underwood portable.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
Haven't used it in a while, and last week I did a video and threw a Baco ribbon in it from Bob Marshall, and so then I had to redo the feet. The feet on this typewriter were, so I think Ted made some rectangular feet for this machine for me, but this
did.
machine actually uses round feet, and the holes in the baseboard are round. And so I actually went to the hardware store and I found some little parts that worked. So
okay.
anyways,
Well,
and then on the back side, the bottom, I have some new feet for the bottom too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, the way these Underwoods are, they have the front 2 feet are screwed in to the base. So it's not easy to remove it from the base. You have to have a screwdriver. So
Okay.
I'm just going to keep it like this. I might put some sound insulation underneath there because it's a little echoey, you know, the hard wood. It's covered by leather, but it's still kind of hard. So I probably
Yeah,
put
you
some,
could kind of glue tack some felt
Yeah.
underneath there.
yeah, but it's a nice machine. It works really well. So
Of course.
Very cool. I think I used to have a Remington Envoy that was basically screwed into the case and therefore wasn't exactly easy to remove from the case. Does that sound right? An Envoy being screwed into the bottom of the case?
Yeah, all the early Remingtons are pretty much that way. They're screwed
Okay.
to their baseboard, and they have feet underneath, but usually those feet are pretty much solidified by now.
Yeah. But of course you can remove the upper lid though.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
1933 Monarch I was using last time is that way. I had to replace the feet, and then there's like additional feet underneath that are more difficult to source. So I haven't found new ones for that yet. But, yeah, it's screwed into its baseboard, all 4 feet.
this green chili's hot. Ooh.
Come on, Joe, you can take it. It'll
This
wake
was
you up.
from, this was from last year. We bought a bushel of it last year and had it roasted and peeled it and bagged it up and put it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this
It's
is hot.
fermented,
It is. It's hot.
maybe, huh?
Yeah, good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah, that restaurant I took you to, the New Mexico place, they do chili roasting every couple years, or every like twice a year.
Yep.
And we go down there and get a big bag full of chilies.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we're having a chili war with Southern Colorado now because
Really?
I guess the climate has changed enough where Southern Colorado is getting warmer, and the water situation, like the Rio Grande, because New Mexico gave a lot of water rights to Texas, so we have to let a lot of water go. So the chili farmers in Southern New Mexico don't have as much irrigation water anymore. And then Southern Colorado, they're looking for new crops, and their climate is now getting better for chili. So there's like a little marketing battle between the 2 states as to who makes the best chili, who grows the best chili. So
I'm going to vote for New Mexico.
yeah,
That's
the right vote.
That's funny. I think even California could make better chilies than Colorado.
Probably.
Come on, you guys got wine. Don't take
Yes,
everything.
that's
I
right.
know, huh? Oh, that's funny. Kimberly, how are you? Before you take a sip.
Good. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Excellent.
Good morning.
To be... Hi.
Very good. And
it's like
Sean?
Brenda's working on an electric Smith Corona.
Yeah, the one that I got last week that the parts were broke off. I'm trying to see if
Oh.
I can do something. And guess what? So I messaged the person about it
Mhm.
and I wasn't expecting anything. I just let them know that stuff was cracked. They refunded me $40.
Nice.
You believe that? That's
That's
crazy. I was
fair.
so excited. I couldn't
Fair.
believe it.
Trying to keep you happy.
I guess so. It's like, okay, I'll take it. It's pretty good. Can't
All
complain.
right.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to fix it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'll try. And I see Sean.
Yes.
Hi,
Hi, Sean.
Sean.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I wanted to show you something. So you showed
I
your
like
pencil. You
Oh,
showed one of these pencils, what, a couple times ago?
Yeah.
This one, mine says Macy's on it.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know who made it? Is that a Duralite?
I don't
Duralite
know.
made some
It's got a watch.
fancy mechanical pencils. It's got a
I don't
watch in it?
know. Oh, it says it's Macy's Jewelry Company is on it. 420
Ooh.
North 6th Street, St. Louis, Missouri. Watches, diamonds, jewelry.
Ooh.
And then it also has the leads come in
Oh, yeah.
the round tubes. So I've got black, green, and red.
These are Duralite leads. Those are great
Yeah?
leads. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what it says on here. Duro.
Duralite.
Yeah, Duro. Oh, I can't see where. Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Melrose Park, Illinois. So that's where the Duralite factory was. So
that's what it says. Yep.
Yeah,
So I've
if
got
you have it.
several of these. I got this pencil from a man we had a man living in our house that we couldn't sell in the city, which he ended up killing himself.
oh, great.
Yeah. And anyways, he left this in the house. So
Mm.
that's how I got that.
Well,
terrible.
Brenda,
Dead
that's an
man's pencils.
Huh? Yeah, I know. I have his desk. We have a lot of his stuff, and it's like, oh my God, it was terrible. He went downtown into a motel, I guess, got a motel and put a plastic bag over himself, his
Oh
head,
my
and
goodness.
suffocated himself.
Oh,
Yeah,
my-
it was terrible. My husband put out I probably shouldn't be saying this stuff, but he put out like to the police that he was his brother, so we could find him because we couldn't find him. And then he had to go downtown, identify the body. And it's like, oh my God, the poor man.
Ooh.
So,
Well,
but anyways,
Brenda, that's an amazing.
don't mean to go to the dark side. Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
recommend going to that hotel either.
No, I don't even know where
Yeah,
it was, but I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God, the poor man.
Well, it is.
It was
It is
terrible.
almost Halloween, so
There
maybe
you go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the tie-in.
Yeah.
I guess, sure.
Well, interesting,
Okay.
interesting pencil. If you find any more information on it, written anywhere in it, yeah, I'd really be interested because that's a very neat looking pencil.
It's really nice. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have any, it just has, it's just their Macy's, it's just the Macy's, I guess, Macy's logo on it. So
Yeah,
yeah, but it's cool.
very cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
I saw yours and I thought, oh, I got to show you mine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so,
Very
My
cool.
my newest thing now is
oh,
automatic
Stampers.
numbering stamps.
nice.
So this,
Those are cool.
so that's a Bates from the 50s, but this one I got because it was special.
Is this Norman Bates, Sean?
Special.
This one won't kill you. This one won't kill you. Well, I guess it could with a lot of force, but I got it because it's a special numbering stamp. So it's got the number, the letter, and then 5 digits, which I thought, man, I could replicate Smith Corona, standard serial numbers from.
Mhm.
Oh,
But unfortunately, I'm 1 letter short of the usual 6 digits there. So I have to have a really, really flat top in order to make this work. And even then, it'll only be to stamp some sort of record. So, this
Cool.
is what happens when you collect without thinking. But then, the neatest thing, though, and I'm not going to get into this because typewriters are my thing, but I found this one more locally. And this is a very early Roberts, like you have to actuate it by this.
Mhm.
But it's got this really interesting pattern on it
Tiger
that
stripe,
yeah, sort of a like right into the metal. Like I don't know how they
Mhm.
did that, but
acid edge.
wow.
yeah, it's just very neat. I mean, and this is a very early model 37. So I thought, oh my God, that's sort of neat. And now I'm realizing that might be a pretty early and pretty unique one. They didn't do this. I haven't seen any of these other than this one. So anyway, yeah.
Some Blickendorfers have that kind of finish.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh, you shouldn't tell me
Like,
that. This is what happened.
So do you know of anybody who has sequential serial number typewriters of the same model?
I don't, and I don't have one yet. And every time I see one that looks close to what I've got, I always reach out to somebody. I go through Instagram mostly. I'm not on Facebook, and I always say, "Hey, what's your serial number?" They probably think it's weird and creepy, but I'm hoping, it's that small world, 6 degrees of separation.
Mm.
One day, somebody's going to have that typewriter that is at least even within 10 numbers of something we've got, and I think that'll be a very cool thing. But closest I've ever gotten to was a Remington Model 5 made in Canada. We were 800 serial numbers away from a guy in Toronto, and that was the closest I've ever been on anything.
I actually have 2 Hermes 3000s from 1964 that are about 30 apart.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's the record then.
And funnily enough, I bought one of them is mine, and I bought it, 1 year, and about 2 years later, my wife bought one, and that's the other one, and she bought it on eBay. And
jeez, and where did that come from?
Well, one came from Arizona, which is,
Yeah.
I bought it locally, and the other one came, I think, from Missouri.
See, that's what I mean. This kind of stuff can happen. You could get something from all the way across the country, and they could be 30 serial numbers away from each other. Like, amazing.
And years apart. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I bought it several years from that, but they were probably made the same day.
That's awesome. Yeah, same day, on the line at the same time. Yeah. How many do you think they made a day, Ted? I mean, I know it depended on the factory and the day of the week and years and all that, but on average,
Hermes,
yeah.
Well, it would be easier to check Hermes because you can just check how many they made in a year, and they only had the one factory, so divide it by 365.
Yeah.
Or so, because they're going to have different production during different days, but
yeah.
Did they have a 5-day work week, do you think, or a 6-day work week?
I would be surprised if they didn't have that factory running 7 days a week on shifts. It would seem kind of crazy for them to shut down for the weekend.
But they were very advanced, though, too. They were European, right? So, who knows?
Who knows? They might have had a 3-day work week.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Catholic holidays and whatnot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the Swiss factory, I don't know what the Swiss practice as far as social days off and stuff back in the 60s. Who knows?
Work-life balance.
Maybe the French-made Hermes 3000s were, they had to break for a galois and a glass of wine every 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
Is it the Spaniards that take like a siesta, like in the middle of the day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the Spanish Olivetti factory, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, you don't want to buy one made right after siesta.
No.
Yeah.
If you find one 30 cereals apart there, it's made 4 weeks apart.
Oh, yeah. 5 a day.
There's no stereotyping here, is there?
I think I had mentioned that my wife and I once parked our car at the local library, and not 3 cars away from our car, the car had a license plate that was 1 digit off from ours. And by 1 digit, I mean ours ended in 100 and theirs ended in 101. So that was, wow. What were the odds?
Did you steal it?
Yeah.
I considered it.
Did you steal it?
That's a good reason for theft.
Yeah.
He considered it, though.
He thought about it.
We want to collect them all.
That's funny.
Oh, let's see.
That's funny.
Eric, how are you?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Very good.
Good. As you can tell, we're having a fun time so far.
Talking about stealing and rhyming.
I want to just say something to Eric. Eric, I got your letter, and I've got to say I'm so super impressed with your wrapping, mailing setup here. Like, this was a perfect poor person's letter, and I mean that from the aspect of when weight was everything and envelopes cost extra, and you just use the letter you wrote to create the envelope you sent. I think that's so super cool. After I completely destroyed your first one trying to get into it, this one was a lot easier. So thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, it was great.
That's funny. Does anyone have any new typewriters this week?
Nope.
No.
I do.
Oh,
I got
you
an
do?
electric.
Excellent.
Yay.
Yeah. At the recommendation of William, I got an electric. It's a Sears Medalist 12.
Okay.
And I've got the mathematical change a key kit with it. So
Does it have the red Cylon eye in the middle?
uh,
Are you familiar with Battlestar Galactica, Kimberly?
When you turn it on, does it have a red light in the middle of the front that
Yes,
turns
yeah,
on?
yeah.
Okay. there you go.
That's the Cylon eye.
It's like Knight Rider, if you're familiar with that.
Or Hal from 2001.
Or Hal.
There you go.
Hello, Kimberly. Type on me, Kimberly.
I'm
That
sorry,
was very
Kimberly.
good,
I cannot
Ron.
type that right now. I cannot open the pod bay doors. I cannot open
Yeah.
the ribbon cover.
I cannot change the ribbon, Dave.
And does it have a 4-color ribbon in it?
no, it doesn't have the original.
But you do have the motorized spooler, so that
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with the features that it has. Yeah.
I have the user manual up on my site if you need a user
Awesome.
manual.
Okay.
So,
It does have one of the type bars is disconnected. The hyphen and the underline, that key.
you
Doesn't-
don't need it.
Okay. I have to manually write that in with pen because I can't hyphen anywhere.
Just count your characters and don't hyphenate.
There you go. Now, the Sears Medalist, is that model? Well, I'll give you an example. The the Singer T62, I believe, was modeled after the Royal Safari. So is the Sears Medalist modeled after something, or?
It's a Smith
I'm not
Corona.
sure. I know it's a rebranded Smith Corona.
Yeah,
Okay.
It is the
Uh,
absolute pinnacle Cadillac version of the Smith Corona electric.
Oh.
It has so many features. It
Wow.
has every feature that never appeared on an actual Smith Corona.
Wow.
I had one for a while, and it was
Yeah.
very Cadillac.
Does it
Excellent.
make coffee or tea?
And the ribbon cover, when you flip up the ribbon cover, it flips up like this rather
Yeah.
than sliding straight forward. It's
Ah.
kind of like a
Older
wing
Smith Corona?
door on it's the only one that does that. So
Interesting.
Well, Kimberly, now we really have to see a picture.
Yeah, let's see.
yeah, you need to put it up on the desk and show everybody.
I lift it up into the camera. I would die. I can't lift it that well.
Okay. Maybe in a future setup, you can set it up so that we can see it.
Yeah, I'm sure I have a photo, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a super unique typewriter.
It's awesome. And I'm really excited about the change a key thing. I've already changed the key. It was quite like putting on Barbie doll shoes. It was awesome.
Nice.
Relatable hashtag.
Oh, that's funny.
Very cool. All right. And Kelsey, how are you?
Mute myself. I'm finally good. Yeah.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah,
good.
well, I ended up, I have an old back injury from
Oh no.
my horseback riding days. Back when I was 18, I was in a competition. I fell off at a jump and eventually I had to quit riding. And yeah, so it acted up right when Bob Marshall was coming up and I had to miss the whole thing. I didn't even get to see him. I was in bed for weeks. It was awful.
Oh,
This is the first Sunday I've been able to sit long enough to join you guys. So
Oh.
yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Oh, we're
Yeah.
happy to hear that you're here, but
Yes.
Yeah.
sorry to hear that you missed Bob. So
I know. I was so disappointed. I finally was able to, I texted him and I was like, I'm not going to be able to come because he did a talk over at Typeface and I was going to go. And yeah, it was really disappointing. It was really disappointing. Yeah. So, but
we hope you get good drugs, so you get to take good drugs for it, though. That might be better, right?
no, I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Oh man.
No, yeah, I'm super sensitive. Like one Advil or ibuprofen, and I feel a little ill. So yeah,
No.
Yeah, but it's finally getting better as long as I don't, retweak it. I think I'll be okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to be careful. But then unfortunately what that meant is, I ended up online looking at typewriters.
What else are you gonna do?
I wasn't going to get any more. Well, and my back actually got better just in time for our cousin to come from Maine. So she was with us this last week, and we went, all over the place, went to some antique stores. So I found a green. I was thinking of ever since Joe posted his wife's that they got. So I got it SM3, and it's beautiful. It's a little bit dirty, but it does have one key top that's a little bit popped up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure how to get that.
Yeah, I can see it. It's like between the M and the B. I think it's the V key.
Yeah, it's the N actually.
N, okay.
Yeah, and it's just popped up in the front. I don't know if it just snaps back down. I was a little nervous to try it yet, but
usually you have to form a linkage, like how the linkage can sometimes be bent a little, and that'll pull the key up, and sometimes it'll pull the type bar up.
Yeah, it's actually, I can see I think it's just the top. I don't know if those key tops come off.
Oh yeah, try pushing it down, like hold down the bar and push down on the key and see if it pops into place.
I can't get it right now. Yeah, I'm a little nervous for it.
Don't be nervous.
I know. I'll fiddle with it when I'm not on camera.
The machine is less delicate than you are.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but it works great. It works great. And I actually ended up going to a garage sale and finding a Hermes 3000. I actually did that right before I got hurt. And it's cool. It's the flat or the square body, but
I like that one better.
Look at this typeface. I don't know if you can see that. So
closer.
There you go.
Okay, so the top numbering is my Hermes, and then the bottom one is an Elite Royal. So look how small that is.
Wow,
it's tiny.
It's smaller than 12, so I think it's like 13.
That's usual
really
for Hermes. Is they go by metric system, so
2.4 millimeter.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty close to 13 CPI, but it's not exactly CPI.
Exactly, that's
CPI.
what it's. But I love tiny things, so I love that. And I ended up cleaning up my my Remington 3B that I showed a while back, where it was really super dirty. So let me show you that real quick if we've got time.
Since we're into sci-fi, that's like the Darth Vader helmet, that one.
So this one, Typewriter Justice did a video on it a while back, and I guess it's pretty rare. They only made it for 6 months.
Yep.
Wow,
super awesome looking.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
You will not be so lucky next
Those
time.
red keys.
And where did you find that?
I found this at a local vintage shop
Just
for
a
$24.
Yeah.
How much?
Top, but Matt over at Ace said that the tops were cardboard. So he's like, it probably doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And
I've only ever seen one of those cardboard tops, and it was in rough shape. But pretty cool if you could find an original with that cardboard case.
On the plus side, you can make one.
My daughter's little American Girl typewriter.
Oh, cool.
So cute.
And this is my alter ego, Gracie Kelly. And
That's funny.
Yeah. I've got the little light.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Little desk lamp.
Yeah. And then this is my husband. So we're in there.
Is that a mullet he's got?
Yeah, he's got no. Yeah, we're hedgehogs. Yeah, I've actually got the little roll top desk, but it won't fit in there. So yep. So I've been busy, even though I've been down and out.
You've had all the typewriter luck this week.
Yeah, but I did have my first DOA.
Oh no.
From Goodwill. It was destroyed when it got here, but I took pictures and I got refunded, and it's a Royal Safari. It was my first one, and the case just completely obliterated. And but I sent a bunch of pictures in and they gave me my money back. So
Cool.
Yep.
Parts
That's
machine.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So that's kind of been my world. Yeah.
Very nice.
Good to be back.
To
Yeah,
have you back.
definitely.
Oh, and I got a postcard from Monk.
Oh,
At the
yay.
Postcard exchange.
It finally showed up.
Yeah.
Ports of pleasure.
Isn't that
Oh,
funny?
yeah.
Mhm.
And then he typed on mantra, but I was like,
Mothra.
yeah, Mothra. That's right, Mothra.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But it's funny. It says, Psycho Susie's Motor Lounge, where unspeakably beautiful natives wearing little more than a smile cater to your every need, and your cocktail glass will always remain full.
Psycho Susie's.
Hilarious.
That's why it's a port of pleasure.
Is this somewhere in Mesa, Arizona?
No. It's out of state.
Yeah, I was wondering what the story behind that was.
It's actually a place.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
but the postcards are a little extravagant for what it actually is.
Yeah,
It's a nice little tiki bar.
I love it. Yeah, and actually I lived on a boat for a couple of years, so it's very appropriate actually. It's a pleasure. Dock your dinghy.
Dock your dinghy.
Yeah.
I thought you might like that.
Yeah, my daughter was like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know you guys were so racy."
Racy. Yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
she used that word.
Monk's an exception, right? He'll push the boundaries, and we like that.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay.
Oh, and Indra, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good.
Anything new?
Yeah. Anything new?
I have something. Yeah, hold on one sec.
He always has something.
So you have to be prepped for this. You have to have your new thing right next to you.
I know.
Ooh.
Ooh, an eraser automatic.
Automatic eraser?
Is it a pencil?
I have no idea. I ran into it on eBay, I think. It was on eBay, but it is complete.
Ooh. So you buy things and you don't take them and play with them for hours on end?
I did not have time yet. But it is an eraser or something. I don't know how to use it. There's a sort of a manual and a spare tip with it, like an eraser for pencils, but it's for a typewriter. So there is a manual.
Has instructions, an eraser with instructions.
This way up. It is this way up. So it shows how to use it, but I don't know. I just ran into it and I thought like, oh, it looks cool.
Look cool.
Quirky and weird.
Yeah. So, well, that's something.
It is something. Very cool.
Was it the I think they're called technical pencils or something that are kind of designed like that, where it has like a knob to screw in the lead or something, or
Well, the head is like a normal for a pencil, and it has a spring in it.
yeah. Okay.
So, and it has, I don't know, this, I think you can move this one. You can move it up to the front.
Mm-hmm.
with a screw.
Interesting.
So I guess, well, it says on the manual you have to press it to the paper and then, well, I guess erase it or whatever. I didn't try it or whatever. So,
Yeah.
well,
It might be more like sandpaper than an eraser now.
it's soft.
yeah.
I can
Oh,
bend
it's
it.
soft?
Oh,
Okay.
it pops out. But it's soft. I can bend it. And there's a spare one with it. Little one here.
All right.
Interesting.
I'll try it out one day. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, those look like the ones that come on in mechanical pencils, so you might be able to get replacements anyway. So they're
Yeah.
the same size.
Exactly.
You can make it longer as well.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Wow.
Springs and things in it. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems pretty complicated for what it is.
Yeah. Well, you have to reach far.
Yeah. But very, very cool though. You don't see those every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I ran into it and I got this card.
That's from me.
No, I sent you a message, but I guess you didn't see it yet.
Oh, I didn't look. Yeah.
That's all right.
Very cool.
Care. Oh, there she is. Wake up. Talk to us.
Morning.
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 Hello.
I'm good. I'm wearing my
Tampa typewriter.
Tampa typewriter hoodie in case I get cold during the meeting. These are really great, you guys, from Jack Armstrong. They're thin, but they're cozy, and they have really good pockets
Nice.
and nice metal zipper. What do you got? You got Adidas.
This is Star Wars.
Wait, I gotta wait. Can you make?
I'm a rebel.
I like that. That's good. With the stripes. What do the stripes indicate, Andrew? How many?
Russian mob.
I was gonna say speed.
Bye bye.
Or speed.
He's been found out.
He's orange leader.
Yeah. So anything new for you, Kara?
Oh, well, do you remember the thing? You remember
Royal. The arrow.
our filthy little arrow?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Noise canceling is so good.
Yeah.
It types like a dream. Can you read that?
Royal.
Came up.
We see that typewriter. There you go.
What?
It's a little blown out.
Okay, I'll have it up for you. I just did that thing I hate when people do. You just tear it out on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, cute.
Nice.
Nice pica.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can tell just from the sound of the thing that it's a pica.
Wow, that's impressive.
Because it goes ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk,
Jump,
ka-chunk,
jump.
ka-chunk.
Yeah.
and it's just, yeah, it works great. It has a little bit of a hiccup, but most of the only thing that was really holding me up with it this week is I couldn't find my drawband material after saying ever so flippantly to William, like, yeah, I got my that stuff. Like, where is it? Which box is it in? Which box is it in? And I went to a store that didn't have the right kind of line and stuff. And I knew that fixing it would take like 10 seconds, but, and finally I happened to look on the shelf that I put up in the garage that has all my typewriter cases, since all my typewriters are in there, in the typewriter museum here now. And, I was like, oh, look, that's actually I actually have a typewriter repair, like briefcase thing that I got from, I can't remember his name, but it's actually for typewriter tools and stuff. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's where all typewriter.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I found plenty of stuff in random boxes and stuff, but that was like, oh, look, and here's all the screws that I need to send with the guts of my enterprise, which I still haven't gotten to Megan Sciata. And, like all these things that I have been looking for, including my handy dandy
Delft braid, spider web.
And yeah, and then I went to the maintenance page because a million years ago when I did my first, not a million, like 4 years ago when I did my first drawband, I had looked at I think it was a Phoenix typewriter video, and then there was a blog post somewhere, I can't remember where it was, and I sort of combined the two of them and it was very effective. And so I made a post on the repair page and I hashtagged it because nobody ever does that. But I was like, I want to refer people to this, or when I want to come back to this, I'll hashtag it drawband. And so I went there and I did hashtag Drawband and I read my post and I went and I looked at the things that I had linked to and so that I could refresh my memory. And in the post, I said, I just did my first Drawband repair. It was so easy. You should do it. You'll feel like a rock star. And it was a 1946 Royal QDL. And I was like, well, there you go. Now I'll just do the 1946 Royal Arrow. Easy peasy. And it was.
Nice.
So that's what I'm excited about, that I finally found my Drawband material and fixed that. It has I know what I was going to say. It has a little hiccup. Now it's not doing it. I thought I'll show you guys and then, oh, there we go. So if I return it sort of too hard, then it doesn't move, but it types. So it's something in the, and then it does fine. Now I can't really make it do it. But if I return it too hard, at the first space, the space bar won't work.
Well,
Thoughts, feelings, opinions?
that could be, you might be overbanking,
Oh,
which means
don't slam it.
well, you're getting stuck hard on one of the teeth of the
Star wheel.
escapement rack. Yeah. Or it could be that your space bar isn't hitting the escapement hard enough or
Okay.
firmly enough. So you might check the space bar first.
That's what I was
If
thinking.
it's it might just be barely actuating the escapement universal bar. Or you could also take the back off, or I don't know, if it probably flips down and you can see the rack on the back, the margin rack, and see if when you slam it hard like that, whether you can see it riding up on the hill of the tooth, or if it's seated inside of the valley of the tooth.
Okay. I'm really, like you and Dwayne, of course, everybody always says, like, look at it, just follow it. And I don't ever know what I'm looking for. So that's really helpful. I'm like, okay, I'm staring at it, but it looks like a typewriter.
Now, Ted, do you think it could potentially be one specific tooth, and that if she were to move her margin in slightly, that it would prevent that? Or
It seems unlikely.
okay.
Generally, if you have a problem tooth on the margin rack, what'll happen is you'll bank it and then it'll fall back a space because that tooth doing something, isn't holding it.
Okay.
Like if you have a chipped tooth, you'll see that if you're in that specific spot, you're banking it and it comes back. But if you move it over and it banks firmly, then you look for that broken tooth.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'll keep playing with it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I was like, if Ted Monk is there, he'll help me. He'll take pity on me. He always does.
I'm always here. I'm here for you.
Thanks, Ted.
Anyone else have any show and tell or questions, or otherwise we can start getting into our typing prompt.
Well, I need to go put a typewriter at my desk, so I'll be right.
Okay.
Get something good, Ted. Get something good.
Yeah, he always does.
He always does. I know.
Excellent. All right. Well, so I am going to go ahead and dive into the typing prompt. I did my typing prompt this morning. You may remember that it was, if I could take my typewriter anywhere, I would take it to ... First, I'll show you the typewriter that I typed it on. Let me make myself big here. And so this is my 60s era Olympia SF, the Ian Fleming edition.
Looks like mine.
I love this thing so much. Oh my goodness.
You don't think it's janky when you type on it?
Oh no. I love it.
Mine feels janky.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Mine's a little
That's
janky.
okay. It's
It
okay.
Well,
Get used to it.
You know, I really kind of think I'm probably just very forgiving of the feel of typewriters, because like I love the feel of the Royalite. I mean, it's not my favorite, obviously, but you know, it's fine. It seems fine to me, and a lot of people hate it. So so maybe I'm just too forgiving of these ultra portables. I don't know, but
I mean, I like it. I can tell it's different than other ones, you know, it's like, ooh. But
yeah, so that is the weapon of choice. And let me go back to here and spotlight. There we go. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, but this is my typing prompt. Oh, wait a minute. My hand is covering it.
It's blank.
Yes.
Oh, that was fun. That was good.
I was planning that joke all morning, so
Yeah, that was good. Space.
pulled it off.
Yeah, it worked.
So yes, if I could take my typewriter anywhere, where would I take it? Space, the final frontier. So that's it. And this is also a gentle nod to William Shatner, who is going to be the oldest man in space. He's 90 years old and he's going to be going up in space if he hasn't already. So that's
3 aliens walk into a space bar.
Oh man. Yeah. So
One of them says, "Put it on my tab."
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so you know that typing prompt took quite a while, I must tell you, but most of that was in the planning. So yeah. So did anyone else have a typing prompt?
Yes, I have one.
Oh, excellent.
Typed on this Underwood 1930 Underwood portable. If I could take my typewriter anywhere, I would take it to a lengthy, unplanned road trip, preferably in a convertible top roadster, hopefully not British made, maybe a Mazda Miata, just so you don't have to do any roadside engine rebuilding. Just find the next scenic place to stop and type out your thoughts, or as we might expect Hunter S. Thompson to do, typing while driving at some breakneck speed with all abandon, one hand on the wheel, the other tapping out gonzo writings, one-fingered. I'd stop at every little roadside cafe or truck stop, have the chicken fried steak and coffee, talk to the waitress a while, then get down to business with the typewriter. After the third cup of Java, I'd get a little jittery, time to hit the road again. I would trace some random path across the country, taking only smaller highways and county roads, leaving a trail of paper behind me, my thoughts blowing on the wind like dried fallen leaves.
Excellent. Excellent. You just described something right out of my bucket list.
Well, you know, my friend Kevin Kittle has actually owned British roadsters, and he belonged to a British car club. And he actually drove the Alcan Highway to Canada, to Alaska, and had to do roadside repairs, serious repairs of British cars, you know, so.
Wow.
British birds need that.
Yeah,
It comes
you
with
got
the
to really
territory.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's requisite for the Alcan. Any kind of car, you're gonna have to pull over and repair it
That's right.
several times.
Oh, Bill, how are you?
Good. How's everybody else this morning?
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah.
Bill Guthrie. Oh my God.
Hey, Sean.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
So
So
enjoying all of your Instagram posts.
Oh, thanks.
Very good. So did anyone else have any comments or questions or typing prompts or anything of the sort?
I did the prompt.
Ooh, yay. Go for it.
I know. Quite a lot of type.
Yours is
Oh,
longer
nice.
than mine.
Uh-oh, that might mean it's more boring, but it will.
No, no,
I
no.
I'll
doubt
read
it.
fast. I'll read fast. I'll be fine.
We're a patient bunch.
If I could take my typewriter anywhere, I would take it to my workplace, an elementary school. There's great value in this tool for student engagement in writing, not only for its tactile quality and engineering marvel, which are attention grabbing, but also as another means of providing a voice to someone who may find the conventional methods exclusionary. There's a saying which has stuck with me, although I don't remember the attribution, that goes something along the lines of, the soul of a poet is not always provided the wings to fly. A typewriter can be someone's wings. That someone may even be a teacher. I cannot speak on the subject of skills acquired at Teachers College, but I believe a teacher's skill in instructing writing could be enriched or enhanced if they were a writer themselves. There is a value to having typewriters in schools. But is that where I would take myself with my typewriter? No. I would take my typewriter to Signal Hill in St. John's, Newfoundland, the most easterly point in North America. It was there that Marconi received the first transatlantic wireless signal, indicating that radio could have a global communication ability. I used to take a musical instrument there and play it in solitude, facing in the direction towards England, although perhaps only heard by the wind and the whales and the icebergs in the ocean below. I think now what beautiful music my typewriter could make, its rhythmic sound acting as a drumbeat to the soundtrack of the stories from my heart.
Oh, excellent.
Very
Very
nice.
good.
Thank you.
All right. And I believe that was your debut typing prompt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
I'm a little bit afraid of the future ones. They get kind of gory and scary. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be doing another prompt.
Perfect.
Well, we can blame those on Emily Tillman. So, well, one directly, and then one I think I slightly modified it, if I remember.
Yeah, Halloweenish. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very good, though. That's excellent.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So Gregory, where did you put the space in your typing prompt? Did you put it before or after?
That's it. That's a good question. Well, there is a lot of white space. And it's funny because the Olympia SF, it's I guess it would be 11 characters per inch. So it's even smaller on the page. Yeah. Let's see. I want to see if I can share share my screen real quick. This one here. Because we do have quite a few YouTube comments. Can everybody see the YouTube chat there?
Yes.
Yeah. So Mark 80 Bojang Running Wild says, I work on Sunday, so I'm never able to join. Oh, that's unfortunate, but thank you for watching. Caro Violetta says, hey guys. Mark says, hypothetical question for all you guys. What would you guys think if a typewriter factory opened up in Germany and used old blueprints and made them like they used to be made? Oh, wow.
It would be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people are buying Leica cameras, so.
Yeah.
And they're very expensive. There's a market for them, I think.
Yeah.
Very boutique though.
Yeah, it would be boutique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, there are lots and lots of really good typewriters to be had for very small amounts of money. Whereas if you go shopping for used Leicas, you're kind of going to spend a lot of money anyway.
Yeah.
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 So there's market considerations that are probably at work there that would make it not especially successful, I think.
But it's important to have dreams, Mark Bojang. So keep your dreams alive.
That's right.
Interesting. Carol Violetta says, typewriter musician composer from Brooklyn checking in. Wow, that is
Hello.
very intriguing.
She must have a music writer or something.
Yeah. Very interesting. Please join us and explain. Let's see. And then Carol says, I want a Rui.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe I should bring mine out of the closet here.
Rui, Roxy, and all those other weird French names. We'd love one of those.
Yeah.
Well, the Roxy's the American one.
Oh,
So
name is a
the
Rui,
American
but
rebranding.
right.
Oh.
It's a rebranding of the French one, but it's got the American keyboard and it's the body style's a little different.
Excellent. We have Lee Kennedy in the comments. It sounds pretty good to me, Mark 80. And Mark says, if I had a couple $1 billion, I'd open up a few typewriter factories around the world. Yeah.
Well, that's one way to spend couple $1 billion.
I know, right? And then we have Luke Forward joining us, unable to rejoin after I got expelled from McDonald's. Oh, yeah, that's Luke from earlier.
He was too forward.
Yeah, he was kicked out of McDonald's.
Ouch.
We do have Emily Tillman in the comments, and she says, "Hey all, taking a break from yard work to hang out in my favorite corner of the internet." Oh,
hello, Emily.
Hello.
Lee Kennedy says, "I'd buy lots of them. What a fantastic dream, though. Wish I could help, but it's a few dollars more than I could contribute." I think referring to the factories, right? And then, hi folks, I'm baking today, so not on camera, but listening to you all. It's good to see you all. Oh, it's unfortunate we're not going to get to see what you're baking.
Yes,
or even better,
or maybe it's not unfortunate.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Let's give her the
make me all the hungrier, you know. No, I mean that in a good way, a compliment towards her. It's like, you see something you want, you can't have it.
Good cover, Bill. Good cover.
Good cover.
All right, so we do have Luke asking a question for the group. Any tips for removing the Royal FP side cover window?
Put your hand inside and pop it out.
Yep.
At the bottom or at the top, there's little clips. Yeah.
Oh, clips. Okay.
Yeah, the metal frame around the glass holds them in place.
It's all pretty much a friction fit, but you do have to get in there and pry it out.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there we go. I just popped mine off.
Yep, and we don't have it on video.
No, unfortunately. And then Luke says he has the same Olympia SF. So,
yay!
Yeah.
So, Luke, do you think yours is good, a good typer, or is it janky?
Janky.
I try not to comment on Olympia SFs because I've really only had one and I hated it.
Wow.
It was
It's
so dead
janky.
feeling. It was so dead feeling.
It's just weird.
I have actually typed on ones that weren't mine that were perfectly fine. They were nice and snappy, but it's kind of like letter of 22s. Half of them are nice and snappy and half of them are just dead.
Wow.
Wow.
It sounds like you have the worst luck with some of my favorite typewriters, like the Royalite.
Yeah.
Ones.
That's what makes us a diverse community.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's kind of inevitable if you're talking about machines that are 50, 60, 70 years old. So
exactly.
Your experiences may vary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your results may vary.
I'm kind of the opinion that pretty much any typewriter, if it's in good enough condition, is going to be a good thing to type on.
Yeah.
But some of them just don't last as well as others, or they get more worn out or something like that. So it's all very much YMMV.
Yeah. Oh, this week on Shop Goodwill, I was so excited. There was a Royal Eldorado, the black and gold, and the bid amount on it was very low. So I wanted it pretty badly. So I think I ended up bidding like 120 on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was
pretty bad.
I was pretty confident about getting it. At the same time, I mean, I was nervous about spending that much on a typewriter, but I had a good feeling that it would not reach that limit.
Mm-hmm. But it did.
And
Well, it sold for 400.
holy jeez.
Well, that's why I was kind of heckling, because I haven't spent less than 400 on any of my machines.
Oh wow.
Not true. The Medalist was cheaper. The Medalist was like 100, but all the others were like 400 to 500.
Wow.
Wow.
Where are you located, Kimberly?
Toronto.
And are you buying most of your machines locally, or are you buying them elsewhere
No,
over the
well,
internet?
either or, but the local shop to me is called Toronto Typewriters, and their prices are higher than eBay. So it's actually cheaper for me to buy online.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Are those machines that they've actually gone through and
I try to
you
buy
know.
pre-serviced ones, which is why I feel it's worth it. Like, I don't regret it.
Okay.
But when you talk about your deals that you're getting off Shop Goodwill, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't service them myself anyway. So, you know,
Time
bit
to
of both.
haunt some thrift stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yourself a couple $20 machines.
Toronto's expensive, man. Even like things that are very cheap out of town are a huge markup in Toronto.
Oh, wow.
Kimberly, does Toronto Typewriters do any service, or are they just selling typewriters after they fix them?
Their website says they do service as well, but I haven't tried. I haven't contacted them for
So
service.
with the prices they are charging, and no offense to them, it's a free market economy and they can do what they want. Even if you find a good, cheaper typewriter that needs service, I'm sure that the cost to repair and service would be cheaper than what they would charge anyway.
Maybe,
so
maybe.
still might
I'm
be
kind
ahead
of
of the
afraid
curve.
to contact them because, yeah, it's worth trying, though. You're right. The service might be cheaper.
Just to ask, depending on what
Yeah.
it is. I mean, worst case scenario, send it out to me. I'll fix it for you, and then we'll figure out another way to get you more typewriters for cheaper.
All right. Sounds good, because I'm only at number 6 so far.
Mhm.
I got room to grow.
Lots to go.
There you go. There you go.
The thing that I always think is, when I get my, $20 typewriter, if it's in good shape, I can spend the $75 for a new platen, maybe even get the feed rolls done for, another $50, and, I'm still less into it, and I've got a brand new machine practically.
That's true. That's true.
Platen makes all the difference.
Huge
I
amount.
think it also depends on what your goal is. Are there, a few particular machines that you really want to own and use, or are you just wanting to accumulate vast amounts of typewriters?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes if you have a few targeted machines, it's a different approach. If you have a few targeted machines, they might be less common and are going to cost more. But at the end of the day, if you're happy with what you're using, that's all that really matters. Or if you have, a room full of typewriters on display and that makes you happy, that's all that really matters. Everybody kind of comes at it for different reasons, I think. And
Good point.
there's no wrong or right way to go about it.
Yeah.
Kelsey's
But
trying to make
if you can avoid overpaying for something, there's definitely advantages to that.
Yes.
Kelsey, what are you trying
Kelsey, are you teasing me?
No. So this is an Eldorado stunt double.
Okay.
I
Stunt double.
repainted it. So
A
for
light?
under $20, you can have no. But then I actually did get an Eldorado for my daughter because this is what she wanted, and so I got the stunt double. But and I got it on Goodwill for like $30. I'm sorry, like a year ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So they're out there still. But you could always do the stunt double.
Yep.
Yeah. I do have to say, even in the last year, prices on Shop Goodwill have gone way up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you see the torpedo that went for like $4,500? I mean,
what?
Outrageous. Yeah.
You know what though? It's funny. I remembered. Oh gosh, who's the gal that's the torpedo fan?
Lynn.
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 I remembered Lynn talking about that, and so I went out just yesterday looking at Shop Goodwill for the first time in a very long time, and I saw I think she was talking about the yellow and green torpedo. Well, chances are somebody bid an outrageous amount that they never paid because there's a yellow and green machine on
It's
there
the
right
same
now,
one.
and so
It's a script.
you kind of you have
but it's the
to
same one.
you kind of have to go into things with open eyes and try to figure out what's what. It gets challenging when stuff like that happens.
Maybe somebody meant to put in $45, but accidentally.
4,500.
Yeah.
There's my son wanted my blue typewriter. That's the Royal Aristocrat, and it's the Cursive. And I said, I don't really know if I want to give you that because I like it and I use it all the time. So I looked on eBay and I found an orange one on there, and the starting bid was like $75, but they didn't have the typeface. So I asked for the typeface. Then the man says, oh, sorry, I mismarked that price. And you need to go check it out. He raised the starting bid to $150, or you could buy it now for $250. And I said, well, I've bought the last two Cursive typewriters that I've bought. I didn't pay more than $100. I paid $95 for each. That's with shipping. And he's like, well, if I don't sell it on Sunday, I'll sell it to you for $100. It's like, no, I want the 75. I don't want the 100. Plus he wants $50 for shipping, So I'm like, I don't know, but I'm not going to do it. My son, he's not going to use it anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So anyways, but yeah, the price of typewriters are there. It's just ridiculous. He thinks, well, this typewriter can go for $400. Yeah. If somebody wants to pay that doesn't mean they're going to pay it.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I'm one of those.
Well, I'm just saying, if you can, it just seems like, I told him, I said, I paid like $50 for mine in 2016 with shipping. So that tells you how much prices have gone up. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's like Ted mentioned going out to a thrift store and finding $20 typewriters. I can tell you that's not going to happen here in Portland.
Nope.
Well,
maybe it's like Bitcoin
here, so
maybe it's like Bitcoin. People are investing in typewriters for their 401k.
I'm looking at my shelf over here and thinking I should make Kimberly some offers.
We are not supposed to make money off our friends.
Oh,
okay.
I'm good with that.
That is funny. Eric, how are you? Eric Tidd.
I'm well, thank you.
Eric, oh, it's beautiful.
Love your shirt, dude.
Yeah. Got it this week. Got it yesterday.
Yay.
Got one for Sydney too. I hope she doesn't watch this because it's for her birthday. So.
Oh.
No.
Well, we hope she watches it, but we hope.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's smart enough not to say anything, Eric.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
I got a dilemma that goes to the recent conversation. Is I've got 40-ish machines, 95% of them work. But ever since I got this Olympia Splendid 66, I haven't used any of my others. And I just love the one machine. It types so well. And I don't know if you guys are in any situation like that where I feel guilty not using
a favorite child.
Yeah. And I don't
kind of in that.
It's okay. It'll wear off, and you'll get
It'll wear off.
It's not like
the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. So you have a bunch of typewriters that you don't use. It's not going to hurt them to sit there. It's not like you're going to keep buying more of them.
That's
You know what
true.
I
It's
mean?
just this one works so well. The other ones always have, one's got some idiosyncrasy and others got another, but this one doesn't have any other than.
You're just punishing the others for not being as good as the one. Like any good parent would do.
But it's the only one that's getting used now. And every letter I write, I feel, it's just like, well, this one's coming to you from the Splendid 66. People are probably like, well, the last 5 came from the Splendid 66.
Well, then I guess you could sell some of the other ones if you want to.
No, I couldn't do that.
No?
Well,
Okay.
Basically, just wait until you haven't used one for 6 months, and
There you go.
put little tags with the date the last time.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
If you haven't used it in 6 months, then you think, hey, well, then take it out, and if you don't feel anything special, then time to get rid of it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a real good idea.
Yeah.
It's-
Time
at
to
least it's
make
not
some
the same as, like, with fountain
money.
pens where, like, you fill it with ink and then you forget about it and then you're not using it and then it
Yep.
dries up.
That's the reason I
the
don't
problem,
use fountain pens anymore. Is I did that. It's like I have 4 or 5 of them, and you ink them all up and you think, oh, this is great. And then you don't use them and you have to take them apart, clean them,
I only
replace
have
the
one.
bags.
Well, with my fountain pens, what I do, because well, I was bad there for a while. I had like 15 or 16 pens inked up, and that was way too many. So now I got it down to 10. And what I do, like at least every couple days, I just get out just a junky notebook and I just exercise them. So I'll just put the quick brown fox ... for each pen and just make sure it's still, the ink is still flowing. And so
some of them are really great. They stay wet for a long time, like the Twisbys, the Franklin Christophs. I mean, some of them just don't dry out. You could probably leave it untouched for years.
That's definitely true. What I've been doing is I've been keeping like a little notebook just with the pen and the ink, and when I inked it up, so that I haven't used it in a while, it's like, oh, I inked that up 6 months ago, and then and then I need to clean it out. That hasn't happened. I'm usually pretty good with my pen hygiene, but it was just kind of a comparison that I was drawing. But on what you were saying, Eric, I kind of have the same situation with my Smith Corona Sterling that I recently got. It's been like the only typewriter that I've used since I got it a little over a month ago, and definitely need to put some of my other machines to work. But it's just so perfect. It's just typing on it is just such a nice experience. It's just there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's the type of machine that just gets out of the way, like when I'm writing, and I don't have to like think about it, like, oh, like, this key I have to press a little bit harder because it doesn't have as clean of an imprint, or this machine, like once it gets to the margin release, it'll keep typing or whatever. I don't have to think about anything. It just works. And
Exactly.
And there's something nice about that. But I could also just be still in the honeymoon phase, and eventually I'll start using my other machines. But
don't leave it. Stay there.
A lot of times we collect a lot of machines looking for the perfect machine, and when we find it, we're reluctant to give up on the other ones. But I don't know if you found your perfect machine. Maybe you have actually reached the goal that we are all working for.
Typewriter polygamy.
Yeah, I'm a polygamist.
About curating my collection a little bit better, because there are definitely machines that I have that I don't like typing on as much, and I haven't used them probably in a number of months, and I haven't thought about getting rid of them until recently. But I'd rather have a bunch of machines that I really like using rather than half of the machines in my collection I like using, and the other half they're just kind of sitting there. So
yeah. Now, Eric, do you participate in One Type page?
I have 2 times, but I read it every day. I 10 o'clock every morning, I get a cup of coffee and I take a coffee break and I read the One Type page.
Okay, because my thought is that could be your outlet for using your other typewriters, because I would think it would be interesting to use a different typewriter every time. I could be wrong.
That's a really good idea. Yeah. I'll give that a thought, and that'll get me more active in it. I love how Mike and Virginia and Natasha every day. And I've done 2 outings and always said, well, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then put it off. But that's a good goal, is to rotate the machines. Using that as a tool.
10 minutes is all it takes.
That's a good point.
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't have any elite typeface machines, and I'm wondering is it really too tiny, or is it great? Like, I don't know if
it's
is
great.
it too small to be legible? Would you send a letter to somebody in that typeface, or is it too tiny?
It depends on how old or young they are. Honestly, I'm not as big a fan as of elite as some are, and it's for that reason. Like, I always like getting a letter with a larger type size myself. I've got these, so I can always read elite and I can type with elite, but there are some practicality values to larger typefaces when you're sending correspondence. I think if you're, writing a book, short story, something longer nature where you want to get more words on a page or whatever, there's value in that. But it all
Postcard.
depends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like to write letters on half-size sheets of paper, Elite is better, right?
There you
can
go.
Get
That's
more
what I
on a
do.
line.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
use the smaller size envelopes, and it's just a little more intimate of the letter writing experience.
My opinion of Elite is if you care about somebody, you'll use Elite. Except for Bill, because now I know he likes Pica, so that's what I'll say.
You know what? So I take anything I can get. And I was going to comment earlier to Eric that if I received a letter every single time using the Splendid, it would be just fine by me. It's all about getting the content,
Yeah.
somebody's
It'd be
thoughts and
just Splendid.
feelings. And that's the biggest thing of all. So
That's true.
Cool. No, I just wanted to poll because, like I said, I'm spending $400 to $500 per machine. I don't want to spend on that if I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
No, alternative typefaces, Kimberly. I mean, don't just get Pica. If you're going to spend the money, get other things.
Yeah.
The italics. I mean, obviously, certain typefaces will cost more.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes you can find some good stuff and get varieties.
Cool.
The other value.
Yeah.
There is
Speaking of-
also a way the machine feels is different between Pica and Elite, because the escapement is bigger or it jumps farther on Pica machines, and so it kind of rides a little shaky. And it's even more apparent on like a 6-pitch typeface. It's like driving a truck. It's like ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. But Elite
good point.
has a tiny little escapement, and it's much smoother. It is more prone to skipping, but it when you have them tuned right, they are very, very pleasant machines to type on. As far as it doesn't jump as much. It's more of a smooth experience.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, and when
Speaking
I
of typeface, sorry.
oh no,
Speaking of typefaces, I never did get to see Sean's Spencerian typeface. I wanted to.
Shoot!
I
Did I
have
not
see
send
that.
you a letter? I thought my last letter was in Spencerian. Did I not?
I don't think so. Unless you sent one to me recently, I just haven't gotten it yet.
No, I have not done that yet, but I will.
Okay.
Don't try to take me seriously with those things on. Yes, I will.
How awesome those are.
That's better.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry.
That's actually a typeface I have on the desk right now.
Oh,
These brothers, all the script brothers are Spencerian.
Wow.
Well, let me see it. Let us see it.
Yeah.
Right here.
I can't see it.
Oh, well, I have to type something then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get this is Typewriter Club, Ted. Come on.
Yeah, get to it.
Wow. Look at him go.
Here we go. Now is the time for all good men.
Something
so make
original.
it bigger
Make
too.
that big.
Big. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
not italic.
No, it's
No.
a script.
It's a royal only script.
Oh,
Okay.
brother, also.
Is the
Oh, did
script
brother have it?
italicized at
Oh.
all?
Yeah, it looks like italic.
Well, it's an italic script, but
Okay.
Yeah.
it's
I have never seen a brother with a script.
yeah. All the
Yeah,
script
they
brothers
can.
have Spencerian.
Like a brother
only-
brother or a rebranded brother.
All of them.
If
That's
they're
the only
script,
script they
it's-
used.
And if you
Yeah,
really
but I've
wanna
never seen a
annoy
brother with.
somebody- if
Sorry.
you really want to annoy somebody, write them a whole letter in that.
Well, now I know what you're getting when I get you.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same
Everyone.
thing, Karen.
Yeah, my cousin does that to annoy me.
See, this was an evil plan on my part. I'm expecting tons of letters now with Elite type, and I'll be thrilled with the letters. So there you go.
actually, I have a daisy wheel that is 15 characters per inch, and it has your name all over it. It's gonna be a long letter.
Actually, Ted, what was the machine, your last letter that I got, which I've been working on a reply, but I have to include something fun since I got something in a package, but the IBM
Oh,
machine.
the composer.
Golly, yeah. So that's an example where a very small type, but incredible clarity. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I can do down to 6-point type on that. So
wow,
that is much smaller than Elite.
Yep. But it's like I say, the clarity is just amazing. You know,
I've even got a type ball for that for classified ads. So it has like half width letters at 6
oh
points.
wow.
Oh,
So I could get a lot of text on a card.
my goodness.
Yeah, that was really something.
So here's another good reason to have a small typeface. Is if you're typing poems on the back of gas
Oh, cool.
station Circle K receipts,
Oh, cool.
death
Nice.
burritos at the Circle K late night soiree, tank of unleaded grease and beans, much regret later. But that'll be then. This is now. Here, you take the wheel. I've got growing pains.
Oh, that is awesome.
I like that.
And then I have another one from Applebee's that I'll read it later. It's not that great, but anyways, yeah.
You set the bar pretty high now.
Right.
Yeah, the bars. So Applebee's receipt poem. Here, we'll just start here. Let's focus the camera here. It's like Cheers, your local neighborhood speakeasy, except the TV's on every wall, and most every entree comes with chicken, and there's a different bartender every night, and Norm's not there. It's just like Cheers, except it's a franchise. There's at least 2 in every town, but at least you can get the crispy chicken Caesar salad with breadsticks.
That's pretty good too.
That's where everybody goes to pick up.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a book of your work on
he
these
has
little
several
receipts.
Yeah, I haven't really collected receipt poems much, but I should start doing them more.
I believe so.
That's your next book.
Yes. Well, actually, when I was warming up for the typing prompt today, I wrote on the top half of the paper, if you type every day on whatever piece of paper you find around the house or car, and if you type semi-random or poetic kinds of thoughts deep from your heart, does that mean you're a writer? Technically, typing inky words on paper makes you a writer, even if, as Truman Capote accused Jack Kerouac of doing, typing is not writing, even though to write using a typewriter, you still have to type. So that was my warm-up exercise.
Nice. True. Nice. Very good.
Well, and I did this on my Hermes 3000. That's got that tiny, and it looks like I typed it on this. It's so good.
So cute.
Lay down. Oh, that's funny.
Lay down.
Lay down.
I know, right? Sorry. I got all these dogs in here with me today, and
I feel the sudden urge to lay down. I don't know why.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's like subliminal messages or something.
She's not listening. At least you're listening. She's not.
Greg, sit. Greg.
If I was a dog, I would be a good dog.
I got to step out for a minute to get a dog biscuit. I don't know.
Excellent. Oh, you guys are funny.
Here, you can have some dog food. Here you go. You want some? Here's some dog
Thank
food.
you.
Mhm.
Good boy.
There you
Good
go.
boy.
Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, has anybody had a typewriter for a number of years, and then you pull it out one day to type on it, and then you realize you've totally overlooked something about it that you're like, oh my God, I was obviously quite stupid. I just found this was one of my very first Underwood 3-bank, but it has, anybody can see the special characters or the figures.
Yeah.
Light is
Engineering figures, maybe?
Oh, okay.
No, it's a pharmaceutical. It's a
Pharmaceutical. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Very cool.
See, the M looks like a Scorpio. The Scorpio.
Yeah.
Wow. They can write some scripts.
Astrology typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm cleaning it up here, and I pulled it out. I've had this for about 6 years, and I don't know how many times I've stared at this, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, huh, Where the hell did those come from?
Okay, I got one for you, Sean. Just last week when I was playing around with this Underwood portable, I just discovered there's a carriage lock right here.
Oh yeah, isn't that cool?
I didn't even know it,
Yeah. Yeah, they got these. They're actually a pretty good positive lock.
Yeah.
For Underwood, yeah.
So Underwoods are sneaky typewriters, I guess.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
The real question is, how many of you have gone through your shelves and rooms and pulled out a typewriter that you forgot that you bought?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Never.
Yeah, we did that.
Never.
We pulled them all out to take a picture, my daughter and I, and we pulled one case out. And we were like, "What is this? What's in this?" And then we forgot it was the one we drove to Montgomery, Alabama to pick up.
Oh my gosh.
We got it. We put it in the closet, and we hadn't used it since.
Oh wow.
Not all about it.
After all that effort.
I know.
Yeah.
Got food poisoning on that trip too.
Oh, well, that
No wonder
That's probably why.
You're trying to put it out of your mind.
Yeah.
That means you're a typewriter hoarder.
That's the
Need to
line.
change my shirt.
Right, yeah. I found notes that I typed to myself that I looked at not that long ago, and I was like, when did I have a machine with Canterbury typeface? I love that typeface. And I went through every single machine and it's not here. And I'm like, what have I done?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But I'm getting one from Megan Seata that has Canterbury. So that shall be remedied. But I can't believe that I had that and like didn't register. And somehow I passed that along to somebody somewhere. What? How did that happen? I don't know.
Well, maybe your tastes change. Like maybe you hate techno, and then a few years you end up loving techno. Like
I'm
you
never
could just change.
Oh, I love techno.
Oh, I love techno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Hermes
Yep.
is techno.
Yep.
I found myself a few years ago, I sold off my Corona 4. It was a pretty typewriter, right? An old typewriter, but I wasn't using it. I wasn't enjoying using it. And now I got this urge for a folding Corona 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
So,
Indulge that urge cheaply because they are not great machines.
no, I know they're not. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you want a little 3-bank, get the Underwood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, much better machine.
And have carriage locks.
And they got
Yeah.
wicked little sneaky carriage locks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
The other thing I was going to note to Kimberly is I think one of the reasons that I have purchased quite a few European machines is because you can often find those with typefaces that are 11 characters per inch, which splits the gap between Elite and Pica. And I actually really kind of prefer that above all. And so you can look at it as a compromise or the best of both worlds, but it's nice that that's out there as an option.
Plus, a lot of them have half-line spacing, right? So
Yep.
you can type superscripts and subscripts. E equals MC squared or whatever.
I just remembered the typewriter that I always forget I have, and that is the Antares Compact. I showed it quite a while ago, and it's the one that the spring on the spring that holds the carriage return lever up had broken and kind of jammed in the hole. And so I rigged up a rubber band that holds it up. So, but I always forget that I have that one. So I go in the garage. I'm like, oh yeah. So it's a pretty little typer. So, but that's one of those European ones with all the funny characters. So yeah. Yeah. I think we do have more comments. And I like it that I discovered how to put them on the screen now.
Yeah.
It is nice.
I don't like that it's over there, so I'll move it over here. Okay. Let's see. So we still have Luke with us. I need a bit more definition on janky. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because Luke is from Taiwan. So,
oh, yeah.
So janky is
Janky,
how would you describe janky?
Crappy.
Yeah.
Like
Junky.
cheap, maybe?
Yeah, junk, like junky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Okay.
It's,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps. I'm not a fan of Olympia in terms of ergonomics, but I do love the aesthetics. I don't find it comfy for my fingers typing on the SF, unfortunately. Interesting. And my latest acquisition just earlier today is a battered Skywriter in very rough shape. Skywriter is one of those hard to find machines here. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then,
Beer-battered?
what's that?
Is it beer-battered?
Yeah.
That's a Joe joke.
Yeah, I know, right? You missed that one, Joe.
I know. That's what my wife calls Joe jokes.
We have Andy Kovacs says, hang on here. How about the person with too many unused typewriters connects with the person that's struggling to find good machines under $400? Ah, there you go.
Look at Andy looking out for me.
Yeah.
Way to go, Andy.
And BB Bye? I'm not sure.
Bye.
Yeah. And then Luke says, guilty hoarder. I love Techno on my Hermes baby. Okay, so he has Techno on his Hermes baby. Excellent. Very cool. Yeah, I like being able to put the comments on the screen there.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's helpful. So, because I realized that on YouTube, you can pop out the chat window and then I just share that window. So yeah, very cool. And that's something I've been trying to get to work, like pretty much since I started this. No, actually since I started or I switched from what was the original system I was using? It was not Zoom. There was something else that looked better on screen, but it did not like low bandwidth. Anyway, StreamYard. Yeah, I was using a service called StreamYard, and that, I mean, it is very fancy. You could put the comments in a little, well, like you see Typewriter Club Live down here. It would put the comments in something like that. Super, super like glossy, but it was very troublesome. Yeah, so I'm thrilled to be able to put the comments on the screen now. So
nice.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions or typing prompts or show and tell?
I have a Joe joke for Joe.
Okay.
I thought this is what he's going to say earlier. So an astronaut walks into a bar and the bartender looks at him disgusted. He says, "Look, pal, for the 100th time, we don't have Tang here."
Yeah. Yeah, if you mix vodka with Tang, does that mean you're an astronaut? You have a space problem?
Oh boy.
That mean you're a Russian astronaut?
You're Russian.
Cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut. That's the name of a cocktail.
Yeah.
Would that be the name of the drink? Make me a cosmonaut. What is that?
Cosmonaut.
Tang and
I
vodka.
like that.
Start serving those.
We need to develop a stand-up routine about typewriters. Yeah.
Instead of a drum beat, you get high bars
There you go.
and a bell.
Quick,
that will be the gong.
And then go.
I was hopeful that Sarah Everett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was hopeful that Sarah Everett was going to be on today because
Just
I had
My
invited,
Type.
from Just My Typewriter.
Writer.
And she mentioned that she was interested, but yeah, because she would be a fun one to have on because she comes from the younger perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything about everyone here, mind you.
Hey, wait a minute.
I represent that remark.
But she's like quite young, and I guess.
And she makes cool videos.
Yeah, she makes very, very cool videos. And that's actually what sort of spurred the thought. was was it Bill that mentioned the bell? Yeah, so one of her videos, this guy is basically reciting Edgar Allan Poe's The Bells, which is maybe infamous for repeating the word "the bells" like many times, and it's a long poem, and he won't just say it once. He'll say "the bells, the bells, the bells, the bells," and so every time in that poem that he says the bells, she rings the bell on a typewriter. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, she's very creative, and she has a couple Barbie typewriters,
which are super rare.
Yeah, and I guess on the Barbie typewriters they had she showed it in one of the videos. They have some like
encryption
secret, a code feature. That's very interesting. Yeah.
Well, ciphertext feature. It's just letter character substitution.
Yeah. So, but yeah, she has a great channel. So if you guys don't already watch it, be sure and check out Just My Typewriter. And I think on Instagram she's just.my.typewriter. Yeah, excellent stuff. So, and she has the subscribers now to prove it. So.
Yeah.
She's like soaring.
She's been building up her viewership.
Yeah, and she puts a lot of work into her videos, so it really shows. So much like Joe. Yeah.
I understand that her whole family's got YouTube channels. Like her mother's got a YouTube channel, and she does, and so
that explains why her mom was so comfortable on camera. When they went to the Chicago. Yeah. Her mom seemed very comfortable on camera. I was like, wow, that's unusual. That explains it. Yeah.
I have office supply junkie show and tell.
Oh, okay.
Let's see it.
That works.
Ooh.
It's one of those directories where you pick
letter. Oh, look at that one.
Awesome.
That's cute.
So,
That is
That is awesome.
You know what's funny about those?
What?
I follow the American Stationer, who's into just all about office supplies and staplers and that kind of office trinket. And he pulled out a catalog once and put it up on his page where it was from the 80s, I think. And it still had those dial type ones that looked like they're from the 40s.
Oh, wow.
So they were still selling those all the way up into the 80s.
Wow.
In the same style. Yeah, they just never changed the style.
Wow.
So you look at those and you think, oh, that must be from the 30s or 40s, but sometimes you can find them like pretty much brand new, and they're not that old.
Yeah, this is pretty much like, I think there's maybe 2 entries on it, and the rest of it's all brand new cards. So it's awesome.
And I think Pierre has one too.
Yeah. Nice.
There's the classic one.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Love it.
You slide the thing here and
And
then oh look, it popped up in the Lee Whitaker.
And I bet it's a Bates. That looks like a Bates to me.
And it had somebody's contact in here already, and I just left them in case they want to contact someone.
Send them a letter.
This is kind of like that, right? It's
Brenda's
a little keychain. Well, it's really little, and then on the back, it opens up. I think this is from the dead guy too. Sorry, but and it has a little. He had
really cool stuff.
Yeah, little fold out.
Cool.
Thing that goes inside.
That looks like something you'd find in a geocache.
It's
Yeah.
James Bond office
Little
supplies.
black book.
Yeah.
Little black book. It's cute.
Oh, don't bring up James Bond.
Oh, okay.
What do you got there?
Sure.
So that's the Bates thing. So because I got my Bates numbering stamp, it's got this. This is the Bates Cavalier, the List Finder Supreme, which looks very similar to what Kerr just said. So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
the Cavalier.
Does it have, you just have the card, you don't have the thing?
I just got if I wanted to buy one, I'd have to call Bates, I guess. You got it though, so you're good.
Hey, John.
So that dial telephone style address book reminds me, you guys ever go to antique stores or let's say thrift stores and you see the replica dial telephones with push buttons?
Yeah.
That always ticks me off. You know,
Me too.
especially they're pushing them off as old
Cheap.
phones. Those aren't old phones. Those are like replica old phones.
The nerve.
Yeah.
This house still has rotary phones in it.
Oh wow!
When we moved in, we left them.
Yeah, we do too.
Oh, that is cool.
Are there converters that you can get for those, or are they just
Yeah.
not-
They still work on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Albuquerque,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah,
Work
ours
backwards. So
Wow.
But if you're calling customer service and it tells you to push one, you're
Oh.
Yes.
just on the
Yeah.
dish, you go,
Mouth.
I remember when
I
grandmother
went-
got rid of the dial phone. We got an upgrade to a push button, and the reason was because we could dial 911 faster.
Huh?
So maybe don't need 911.
Joe's like the original Captain Crunch.
how's that?
He can
Oh,
sing 1600 kilohertz.
well, if you remember back in the 80s, Radio Shack used to sell these tone dialers.
Yep. you
They
can
were a
modify
tiny
'em.
little device and you actually store your phone numbers in them.
Mhm.
And then when you push the button, it would go beep, 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 and you just hold it up to the mouthpiece of your phone and it would tone dial.
Oh, well.
Hackers
Wow.
love that device.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can modify them to do the 1600 megahertz
Exactly.
tone.
Yeah.
Actually, these days you could just about say back in the 1980s, Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. all right.
Yep.
Radio Shack.
And that's it. I mean, there used to be Radio Shacks used to outnumber McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Sean if he had his Bates numbering device nearby.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all 6 of them.
Oh, you have
Which one
6
do
of
you want
those
to see?
things.
You have
I went crazy. I just, Greg Antique Shop posted 4 of them for sale, and I bought them. And he emailed me right away, and he goes, "WTF?" He goes, "I thought you were into typewriters." He goes, "I never would have thought." And I went, "Well, I just thought I'd try these out." And then while I was waiting for those, because they got waylaid somewhere between Djibouti and Asia, I bought 3 more. Because I couldn't wait, and then they all came at the same time. So now I'm into these goddamn numbering stamps. But they're all pretty awesome.
So now you have to
Yeah, it
put
looked
things
pretty
in
cool.
sequential order. You have this compulsion to put things in sequential order.
Yeah, I'm gonna start stamping all my letters. So when you get a letter and it's like 32, you'll know it's the 32nd letter.
Mail art, absolutely. We should totally do that.
Yeah.
You have to take a ream of blank of paper, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
just start stamping every sheet with its own serial number.
I actually used to
I seriously thought
use
about it.
those
Sorry.
for my actual job when I was printing is when we do carbonless forms, people
Yeah.
want them sequentially numbered. So after we did the carbonless forms and padded them into sets, then we take each set and stamp with one of those. So I had a Bates numbering machine for that, but we only had one, but it's the only one we ever needed.
Yeah, well, they're monsters, but this one I got says property of U.S. government. And when you search on eBay, there's a ton of them that say this. So they were very, very common. They were obviously used in every DMV, blah, blah, blah. And I always envision movies, and I can't remember a movie that comes to mind right now from the 80s probably or 70s, where you got some really nasty, cranky old ladies sitting there in the DMV just stamping carbons and I'm like, I'm going to do that anger stamp.
For an episode of Columbo, maybe you'll find one. Yeah.
Hey.
You've given me a great idea, Sean. I'm going to buy a black suit and tie and just start showing up with people. I'm with the U.S. government. That's our property. I'm taking that, sir.
I'll give you a technique tip though. When you stamp with those, you want to take it and line it up straight on the paper, and then hold it and slap it with the top so that you're not doing it side crooked. So that's the technique.
Oh yeah.
You don't just
That
grab it
works
by the
good.
handle and slam it down. You set it where you need it and then hold it and
Finesse it.
slap the
Holy
top.
crap. Yeah, that's great.
In my very brief stint of working in a print shop, like my last year of high school and just shortly thereafter, the boss did not like my work on the presses. I was too slow for him, so he stuck me in the bindery. Well, he had me numbering carbonless forms like Ted was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big machine that did it, and you just put the stack in there.
Oh,
and
okay.
It automatically
And an
numbered.
automatic one, yeah.
But so the customer had already printed these forms. They were pre-printed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so he just sent them to us to be numbered. So I put it in there, and I put the setting to the number he wanted, I thought.
Uh-oh.
I believe how it worked was it would number backwards.
Yep.
So you actually had to set it to the last number.
Yep.
And yeah, so he had a bunch of forms with the exact same numbers that he had already used.
You
And
ruined $300 worth of paper.
yeah, and my boss was so upset. He said, "This was your mistake. You have to call the customer." I was like, "Oh my goodness." Oh, that was horrible. Yeah.
Well, but you learned though, right? You never did that again.
I was never on that machine again.
I hate to break it to you, but my boss really screwed up. It's a tragic story, really.
Well, well, after that point, I think he was kind of grooming me to be the delivery driver. So
What could go wrong?
I'm the position of yeah. I dented an airplane, and it ended up canceling 3 different flights. So my mistake was more expensive than yours. No matter how expensive that cost, paper, mine was more. I broke a plane.
Oh,
wow. I don't feel so bad now. Thank you.
Yeah,
Of
but
course, it's like 30 years later, but that's okay.
bindery was the worst because all the money had gotten spent by the time it got to bindery. And then if you screw up bindery, you're screwing up so much money.
Yeah. I also screwed up one of the big guillotine cutters. I was cutting some business cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't accounting. I don't know the proper terminology, but I guess as you're printing, the image sometimes drifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't account for that, and so the more I would cut them, the more I was cutting them where they shouldn't have been cut.
That's a printing mistake. They should have, as the plate started drifting, they should adjust the cylinder up so that it stays on mark. But yeah, what they should have at least told you that was happening.
Yeah, not your fault.
Again, after 30 years, I finally don't feel so bad.
As a pressman, that was my problem.
Okay.
We need to hit the marks all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It was hands down the most stressful job I've ever had.
It can be.
Yeah.
It's okay, Greg. You're amongst friends.
Thank you.
It's gonna be okay.
At least you didn't break a. You're fine.
Yeah.
And that's how you
love
became a
everybody's
librarian.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I'm guessing these things didn't come up in your interview with the library.
No.
Then there was this time.
Hey, messing up the cutter though is better than the cutter messing you up. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
And this was a big brand new one that he had just got. I did get the pleasure of going to one of the printing conventions
Mm-hmm.
and invited me to go along. And we got these huge 24 by 36 posters fresh off the press, full
Mhm.
color, and like all kinds of swag and stuff. And you see these immense cutters. So he had actually bought one of these cutters at that convention. And
Do you remember paper sample books? Like when the paper companies would make these little books that had
They still make them. Yeah,
their
yeah,
little-
they
of their
still do that.
paper, and they would
Yeah.
print like art prints on them, and it was they had like actual designers doing these things. I remember
Wow.
those from the late 80s and early 90s. They were just beautiful. They would spend a ton of money on those things. I still have cuts from some of those that I use as postcards and stuff.
Huh.
But
I'm getting the idea for looking on eBay for them now.
yeah, you might be able to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Excellent.
remember throwing so many of those away, and man, I wish I'd kept them all.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. Well, when Kara comes back, I believe she has a typing prompt, but she disappeared. Oh, I see her.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
There's Kara. There she is.
Yeah.
I have a rolling chair, you know. So.
Nice.
That's a good effect.
It's my version of, I don't know. I've been watching these little like TikTok videos with the people that they move these really cool ways, and I can't figure out how to do it. But I have a rolling chair, so I can at least do that part. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to stop my laptop from moving across the table. All of a sudden, what's going on?
Okay. If I could take my typewriter anywhere, it would be home. Allow me to explain. It's October, and I'm thinking about taking typewriters places. Where I most enjoy taking typewriters in October is home. Even though I only went twice before the pandemic changed everything, it's still a tradition in my mind that I should be in West Virginia in October at the Chestnut Ridge Typewriter Museum and Rendezvous, affectionately known as Herman's. We would have checked into the musty motel overlaid with fumes of Febreze, ugh, and headed to Herman's, following the directions given by Herman himself, not the GPS as instructed. My cousin and I, enjoying the foliage and the cool air and chatting amiably or arguing or cracking jokes. The car would be loaded with machines he's trying to swap or sell, and a stray junker machine he would end up leaving in someone's car if they were unwise enough to leave it open at Herman's. Kind of a tradition. I think you got to be careful. You'll end up with taking home machines you didn't know somebody stuck in your car. Pulling into the gravel road, the parking area already full of cars and tables and typewriters in the grass, we would squeeze the van into a space under the chestnut trees and tumble out into our community at last. Scampering between swaths of beautiful machines and squinting at name tags to put bodies and faces to friends from online, we are delightedly in our element. We circled the machines for sale like sharks in competition for prey. Excuse me. Luckily, there is something for everyone and a wide variety of tastes. And at the end of the weekend, we each have at least one new typewriter hugged to our collective chests. I am limited to what I can carry on an airplane, so you would think I would pick something light. First year, I did. I remember sitting on the floor of the Pittsburgh airport, typing happily away on my 1957 senior companion, serviced by and purchased from Jessica Winkowski at my first Herman's. People chuckled and stopped to watch as they wandered by, and even the flight attendant asked excitedly, "Is that a typewriter?" as I wrestled it into the overhead bin. That machine has since found a home with a neighbor's daughter in San Diego because she needed a typewriter, and I wanted her to have something reliable and classic, and she chose it from the three I offered to her one day. My second Herman's, I wanted so many of the machines. I was happy to spend time with my friends and meet new ones and wander around drooling and fantasizing over which baby I would be able to take with me home. My favorite place to take typewriters. Many machines caught my attention, some too huge, Royal 10, some too expensive, anything over $50 at that point, and a few disappeared before I made up my mind. But the moment of decision came, or was literally thrust upon me, when the seller placed the machine I had been eyeing all weekend into my arms and gave me a price I couldn't refuse. He's just like, "Here, take it, take it." I can't, it's too heavy. And that is how I came to bring one of my bucket list machines, a 1912 Royal 5, to my favorite place to take typewriters, home. Postscript, because everybody wants to know, I got a reusable grocery tote bag, cut up a yoga mat, wrapped it in the mat and packing tape, hauled it through the airport on both ends, aggravating a bulging disc in the process. But it was worth it.
Oh, excellent. Very good.
It's October. We're not at Herman's. It's so sad.
This was going to be my first year there too.
Well, last time we had Richard Polt on. Oh no! It wasn't Richard Polt. It was David.
David Caldwell.
Yeah, I believe he suggested that they were looking at something in like earlier in the early next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did do an online one last winter on Zoom.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, Larry Presnell provided all the music, and we got to it was kind of cool because we got to look at Richard Polt showed us a bunch of his machines and stuff, and you don't get that at Herman's because he's not going to carry a truckload of his stuff there.
Yeah.
Feed his cats, and I mean, that part was really fun, but you don't get to see people and wander around and stand on the porch in the rain and drink beer and eat cold pizza and that stuff.
Yeah.
But so who knows if that is a thing ever? Who knows?
Yeah.
We get lucky here because we have the Southeastern Typewriter event, and this year was only maybe 6 of us. But Herman comes every year, so we get to have a little mini Herman.
Oh, very nice.
And where is that, Eric?
It's really cool. It's at the it's at a railroad museum.
Oh.
It's an old railroad terminal, and it's actually all transportation. They have taxi cabs from every year and buses and trains, and they got a great outdoor space. So the past 2 years we've done it outdoors. It's been nice.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, that's the other thing you can't do online is go actually into Herman's collection.
Yeah.
And touch the forbidden machines.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was remembering as Kara was reading her typing prompt, with mine, it was Space the Final Frontier. But I got as I was as I was writing it, but I didn't have time for much thought during the writing process, but
15 seconds of it.
I did think, would typewriters in particular, would they even work in space? Because don't they rely on gravity to some degree?
Ooh.
Would the type bars fall
I think the
back
type
down?
bars are spring loaded to
Springs.
return. The problem would be a carriage shift machine, right? I think the actually both carriage or segment shift, right, would be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, segment shift will be okay because you have a spring pulling it up to the lowercase position and the shift button pushes it down. But a carriage shift relies on gravity to take it back down to the lowercase position.
Ah.
And that's why they don't use typewriters in space.
Darn. And all happens.
Well, actually, Joe, I would say that the Olympia would return because mine's got very heavy springs.
That's right.
The carriage shifted Olympias are spring assisted for the carriage shift.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But no, very interesting. The things we think about, we know what Gregory's going to be writing about now, some story about typewriters in space, but he's got to get the detail right. So he's asking everybody.
You found me out.
Yeah.
Ziggy Stardust and the typewriters from space.
Oh, excellent. Let's see here. I haven't asked you, Ted, in some time. Like, do you have any current projects you're working on?
Well, I am currently working on rubber feet. I got a pattern for the square top Hermes 3000. And I was just doing some experiments with rubber because I can't get the rubber that I normally get. And I found out something that was kind of interesting. I might show you guys. Normally when I when I have old typewriter feet, they're very stiff and brittle. And so when I mic them out, they come out usually about 90 shore A as far as the density, but these square little rubber feet for Series 5 Smith Coronas, like the Super 5s, they are pretty fresh. And if you take them out and measure the underside of them that hasn't been stuck up against a desk forever, they're actually about Shore 45 density. And so I was playing around with rubber, and I found a kind of rubber that is actually right about that same thing, about Shore 50. But it's kind of a, it comes opaque white, and so I can only get them to gray when I add black to them. So that kind of is a downside, but the Shore density is exactly the same as these original feet, and I found them to be even grippier than the ones I was making before, which are, you know, when they make out to about Shore 65. There you go. You see my little meter.
Yeah.
But so I've been making ones that are really grippy with using the old rubber that I was using. Not old, but it's the one I was using before.
Yes.
And they're really grippy, but now I found a rubber that's actually more the right density, and it's even grippier than those. So
wow.
These are like bowling shoes.
I'm kind of excited to put these on a machine and see if they just grab onto the desk and don't let go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been working on lately. So if I could just find it in clear so I can make them black instead of gray, that'd be great. But at least on the Hermes 3000s ones, the originals were gray, so that's not such a bad trade-off.
Maybe if you just go bold and make them like some crazy color, maybe that would be easier than trying to get them to be black.
I tried that and nobody wanted them.
How about who's the Colombo?
Oh yeah.
Colombo collection.
Yeah. Maybe they go for some of the colors.
I made when I first started making these feet, I made them in mint green for Hermes 3000s and Olympia SMs, and nobody wanted those. They're all on my machines now because nobody was interested.
Wow.
When I made them in black, people liked them. But,
interesting.
So who knows? But that's what I'm working on lately.
Okay. Anything on the book front?
Oh, I have not done much on the book front in a couple weeks, so
okay.
I've been slacking off on that. Sorry.
Oh.
I've been mostly working on the site, actually. Typewriter database.
Very good.
I think for the feet, it's just marketing. Call them Jimmy Choos and they'll sell like hotcakes.
I tried calling them gecko grip feet because they're super grippy and they were green. But nobody wanted one. So
monkey choose.
I think it's fun. I'd like a bright color under
I
there.
would have done it.
So well, I have some. I mean, I have a whole suitcase full of feet, but they're all black.
And of course, it wouldn't do any good to just like color the outside of it, right?
That would just rub off.
Yeah.
Not much really sticks to the kind of rubber that I use.
Yeah. Okay. And Joe, do you have anything in the pipeline?
Not yet. It's
okay.
I rely upon my creativity to suddenly come up with something, and it hasn't happened yet. But it's early in my weekend. My weekend starts on Saturday night, so
yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be at least one video this week. And
okay.
I don't know what it is yet, though. So
yeah.
So is anybody typing a novel for the NaNoWriMo November?
NaNoWriMo.
Yeah. Anybody typing a novel next month?
What is it?
Not this year.
No.
I don't know. Maybe I should. Are you, Kimberly?
I haven't, but if that's a challenge, I'll be your typing buddy.
Oh.
Ooh.
There you go.
Well, it's possible.
I sense the gauntlet has been thrown down.
I've done Nano a bunch of times, but I never succeeded on a typewriter. But I think that was because there were other factors
Yeah, it's harder to count. I mean, I'm not serious. Like, I don't care if I hit 50K or 10K or whatever that.
Well, you can, I guess you can scan it and make it into a document that you can count.
Yeah, there are ways you can count.
But yeah, it
What
just
is the
got too
event?
complicated.
Yeah, what is this?
So do you want to say, or do you want me to say?
No, you go ahead. You know more about it. I just
So November is National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo. And there's tens of thousands of people that participate in this. And the idea is that you commit to writing 50,000 words of a novel or whatever. I've never written a novel. I've only done nonfiction, but during the month of November. And then at the end you upload. So most people do it on a computer because it's easier to keep your word count, and you keep track of your word count, and it shows you on a graph, how on the website, it shows you on a graph how far you are and how many words you have to write. It's like 1,667 words a day or something that you have to write to make the count. And
the difference about this writing challenge is that it's just all about quantity, not quality. So
Yeah.
you just
That's
dump the
perfect
words
for
on
me.
the page. It's supposed to be really rough first draft, no editing, just like dump it on the page, but
Mind them.
with an idea that it gives you something to work with later when you're
All
done.
work and no play makes Jack
Yeah.
boy over and over and over again.
yeah, and at the end you upload it for the word count, so that you find, so that they know that you actually put those words down on paper, but and it doesn't get read. It's, it's scanned by whatever digital gremlins are out there. But so you have to have a way, if you're doing it on a typewriter, you have to have a way to upload something that it can count, so that it knows that you have in fact done the 50,000 words. But yeah, it is kind of freeing, although and you can type. This makes me crazy. I'm so sick of this crap. This is driving me nuts. This is, I hate NaNoWriMo, whatever, just to get your words in. But I have found I never have gone back to anything. I've never gone back to anything and reshaped it afterwards. And I get so fed up and so tired with just trying to make my word count that then I don't write anything for months afterwards. It's kind of like after I stopped being a professional pastry chef and baker, I didn't bake anything for years, even though I love baking, because just, tired of it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do more of it. It didn't do what I wanted, which is give me something that I wanted to shape and also start me on a daily writing habit. It had sort of the opposite effect. So I'm not sure.
I don't know. I've never participated in it ever.
Oh.
I just watch all the people who do and say, "Wow, cool."
Yeah, and then you have writing buddies, and you keep track of each other and you encourage each other and stuff like that. But
I think Joe could win it in his sleep. He'll just do a stream of consciousness, and there, boom, there's his word count.
My friend Kevin says that I'm a hemophiliac when it comes to typing. and he's a clodder. He can't, he has to sit at a typewriter and think before anything comes out. And
you just beat onto the page.
Good for that. It's good for just opening the vein, so to speak.
I'm not saying it's any good though. It's just a lot, I can throw down words. But I feel the same way with you guys about NaNoWriMo. I've seen it for years, right? But I don't think it matches the way I create. And I sort of have to be inspired, and that doesn't really happen all the time. And sometimes you have to not necessarily manufacture inspiration, but you have to put yourself in the place where you can allow yourself to be inspired. And a lot of that involves reading, right? It helps to be a good, voracious reader before you can be a good writer. And so if you're not taking the time to read and think about things, I don't know if you can really write something really well in 1 month like that, especially when you have a deadline. I mean, obviously, writers for years have worked against deadlines, right? But so maybe there's no substitute for good old fashioned hard work, maybe. But
And I know people have done drafts of their novels on it and then gone on to edit it and work it into a book and even be published. And I admire that, but my personal experience is that then I just want to walk away from it and not have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
If I go back and look at it and there's some good stuff, or I have gone back and looked at a couple of them. I actually had books planned out, and one of them I just didn't want to bother with it after I'd written the draft. And then the other one, when I started looking it over, it seemed to me that I had written the same story over and over again as an example for these various things that I was writing about. And I kept using the same story, and there were like 6 different versions of the same story. And it seemed to me like I had just written 50,000 words on the same story, which wasn't what I thought I had been doing. And so I was like, ugh, walked away. So yeah, it doesn't.
I know some people do really good preparatory work. They do outlines
Right.
and index cards of the structure of the plot and all this. Yeah.
Those are called planners, and I'm what they call a pantser. Where you pants. So yeah, maybe if I planned it, then I would just write the story once and then move on to the next index card.
What
Does
I like about
anybody-
the concept is that you don't self-edit as you go. And I think that would be really freeing. Like just, it sucks, who cares, keep going and, do this second draft and third draft later.
Yeah.
I think if you had enough index cards and you put a different
50,000 words.
Yeah, 50,000 index cards with a different word on each one, and just throw them in the air, and pick them up, and there's your novel.
That's a good idea.
William S. Burroughs style.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But take your typewriter to the zoo and give each one to a monkey and see if they come up with Shakespeare.
So does anybody have an idea?
Go ahead, Bill.
I'm curious if you're talking about like a typed page, 10 point or 10 characters per inch, 12 characters per inch, whatever. On average, how many words would you be talking like per page?
Double or single spaced?
Single spaced.
I think it's
about 500.
3. Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
Are we talking about the assumption that the average word is five letters long? Because the average word in English is about 7 to 8, but typing,
They count 5
classes
characters.
always counted it as 5, right?
Yeah.
In the novel you do this in November, and the novel is 50,000 words.
Yeah, that's the rough.
Yeah.
That just means you win. I don't know what you win, but
T-shirt, right? Don't you get a T-shirt?
No, you get to print out a piece of paper that has a certificate on it that says that you won.
I think the idea is you're winning for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You've made your goal.
It's really about completing a goal. Yeah, completing it.
Yeah.
And that part is really kind of cool because I
That's
don't.
a lot of pages, though. That'd be what, 500 pages?
Bye, Eric.
Bye, Eric.
Or 100?
500 pages. Wow. Yeah.
100 pages.
No, it's a couple. It's about a couple hundred pages.
100. Because I believe that I used to do editing, and on average on a double spaced page is about 250 words.
Right.
So if it's single spaced, it'd be about 500. So
roughly, yeah.
Yeah. So about 100 pages sounds right for a short novel like that.
It's only about 3 pages a day. It's not that much.
Yeah.
So if
they
you
do
go to
go camps
Staples
and set your
buy
own goal. You don't
yeah.
have to have like 50,000. You could do like the camp style, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Your own-
But you could buy a ream of paper, like 500 sheets of paper, right?
Yeah.
Say, okay, I've got to use this up in a month.
Oh my.
That's interesting to think about.
Single space, set the typewriter to single space, 1-inch margins, a ream of paper, 500 sheets there.
Yeah.
And
Make
I
sure
can
your
just
space
track
works.
my progress with a set of calipers. I can measure the thickness of the paper that's left.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think my issue was I very quickly became discouraged with the publishing industry. Our world moves so fast now, and it has for many years, but the publishing industry does not. I mean, first of all, it takes a long time to write a novel. And then second of all, once you submit it to a publisher, you may not hear from them, yes or no for a year. And even once they've accepted it, it's 1 to 2 years until you actually see the published book. So it's a very, very long, discouraging process. It's pretty crazy.
There's a lot of publishers that want to, their business model is to get you to pay for your own publishing,
Yeah.
you know. And so you end up marketing the book yourself, having to make the money back that you paid. You paid like $5,000 to get all these books printed, and now you have to go out to flea markets and whatever craft fairs to try to sell your books and try to make the money back.
But fortunately, with print on demand technology, you don't have to do that anymore. I created some like lined journals, and I have them they're on Amazon, and I mean it cost me nothing to put it together, and they're, you know, you can buy them, and I don't make much per book, but so that helps, and that's actually what I recommend to people that are talking about these what are called vanity publishers, that, you know, they do all the design and the typesetting and all that, and editing, and so you're paying for all that, but they, like Joe was saying, they leave the marketing to you, so you're going to be stuck with a huge bill and probably not make your money back.
Not everything needs to be published, though.
That's true. That is very true.
Or even in your lifetime, you know.
That's true. But see, that reminds me of my second oldest brother. He wrote this really, really, really good novella, and I absolutely loved it. And I was like pushing him to submit it to publishers. He had no interest whatsoever. he just liked that he wrote it, and that was that.
Art for art's sake. Yeah.
But I couldn't wrap my mind around it, because I've always been interested in publishing and editing and writing, and so it kind of broke my heart.
I think what a lot of writers would like is to see them published in a traditional publishing house, you know, where you get acknowledged as a writer. I think there's some kind of acknowledgement about being a writer that you don't get with print on demand, you know. And people get looked down upon, you know, like anybody can print their own book. It doesn't mean you're a writer, that kind of attitude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My wife actually. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I just think part of that is just a reflection of our changing world. I mean, you know, I relate this to the conversation about music, and, you know, what people used to have to try to do to become successfully recorded musicians, whereas now with the technology available to them, there's so many different avenues somebody could take to get their music out there, and so it goes with writing as well. Now, whether it's something that deserves to be published or not, that's not for me to say, but I definitely understand and agree with what you're saying, Joe, but it is nice to know that if somebody wanted to, they could go out and have their own book, you know, create their own book. And I have a friend that did that. He wrote a story about the pub that we visit. They've been around for about 45 years now, and he interviewed a number of folks and ended up just putting together his own book and had it published that way. And he shows up at like some of the beer events that they have, you know, selling his book and so forth. And it's like, oh, that's a fun thing to do, you know, and it might not bring the same level of satisfaction as a traditionally published book like you're talking about. I definitely would understand the thrill of that, but it is, I think it's one of those things where I try to look at it as, you know, there's so much about the way things are changing and evolving so quickly that sometimes frustrates me. I guess that's one of the bright sides, is that, you know, it balances out in some ways that, you know, people are more empowered to get their art out there, whether it's writing, music, whatever. And
accessibility. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, and I think the indie world is really starting to expand a little bit with publishing, with Ingram Sparks and all that you can actually have them in Barnes and Noble or your brick and mortar stores, even though you self-published. So yeah, I've got a friend that does it on Amazon, and she was able to quit her job actually with her little mystery series. So
oh, cool.
Yeah. So I think it might be changing a little bit. I mean, I think you're right. I think people that are published and go through the traditional publishing way, maybe looked down because they, you didn't get accepted or whatever. But I mean, I think it can be legit, and some of these print on demand, they're so popular that they are forced to print them, and carry them in the store. So that's pretty fun too when that happens. So yeah.
Well, it's like the Impressionist artists, they weren't legit, they weren't accepted, and we love them, right? Like, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great
We can be
point.
rebels.
Yeah.
I actually, I guess, Kelsey, I think that's actually maybe the best point of all, is that if the writing really holds up and you find that people do love it, enjoy it, desire it, one way or another, it will end up, propagating. So if the person at least makes the attempt to write it and get it out there, if it's good enough, then people will want it. And so there's definitely something to be said for that.
Yeah. We've got a local writer and The Shack. And he wrote that basically just for his friends and stuff. And then it ended up getting published and put into a movie and the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, you never know. And he wrote it, as a letter to his kids, really, or a story to his kids. So yeah, I mean, I think if you're writing from your heart and you're passionate about it, it just doesn't matter if one person buys it or, it becomes a movie or whatever,
Right.
Yeah. If you're creating and loving it, then, I mean, that's what I keep telling myself anyway. So.
It's the act itself, it's the journey, not the destination. Like participating in the act, even if it's not financially successful, or even if the quality's crap, it's still, you're part of the movement. You keep the movement alive.
Yeah.
And if you get enjoyment out of it, that's the heart of what really matters.
That's kind of what Stephen King implied in his book on writing, was that if you are a writer, you'll find time to write every day. You can't help not to write. It's a compulsion.
Yep. Yeah,
that makes sense. And by the way, Kelsey, when I was saying right, that's with an R, not a W. I was agreeing with you.
Right.
So I've been watching Brenda working there, and I'm curious what her progress is, what she's doing.
What my problem is more like it.
Oh.
Well, it's getting there, but I just dropped the little star wheel thing that holds the, that butts up against everything, is in my typewriter somewhere, and I can't find it.
Oh no.
So I have found the screw, but I'm not lining up. My holes are not lining up on the side. And I'm trying to get it back so I can get the screw in, and it's not working. So I think I have to do some more bending of the brackets that hold that on.
Is this a 6 series? Smith
That's
Brown?
the one from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those can be funny.
The cracked. Yeah. So.
And then I had another question for Sean, which I don't remember what YYC stands
Calgary Airport.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So
I told you I broke a plane. I know about aircraft.
So, every airport's got its own codes, blah, 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 blah. Well, in Canada, for whatever reason, and probably other places too, but really about 15 years ago, the use of airport codes to sort of be the cool, hip way to talk about your city became the thing. So Vancouver, you'll see YVR life. And everything hashtags with YVR. So, that's Vancouver, and Toronto, YYZ, YYC for Calgary, and then YEG for Edmonton. Anyways, it became a thing. So anytime you see YYC, it's sort of the cool, hip magazines or online blogs, YYC vintage and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
It wasn't obvious to me that the YYC was the aviation term for the airport. So.
Yeah, and I realized after doing that and getting some comments from folks like yourself and people in the U.S. who aren't familiar with those, it doesn't make any sense. What you Yahoo Calgarian typewriters. Yeah,
I mean, like in the case of my town, ABQ is kind of obvious, for Albuquerque. But yeah, I was just curious why YYC. Is it like in the U.S. with radio stations, like east of the Mississippi, it begins with a W, and west of the Mississippi, it's K or something? I don't know.
we came from a different system as well.
Yeah.
We all started with C's generally across the country because our first communications were railroad based. So CP and CN were our major railroads, and they started all the radio stations and they got divvied up. Anyway, funny, great stories. But yeah, see, you guys have to remember, as citizens of the United States, you guys led in everything. So you guys got to pick all of the good acronyms for everything based on the reality of the places you were living. We ended up getting these arbitrarily assigned codes afterwards, and the only thing that differentiated us was it started with C for Canada, and then
leftover letters.
Yeah, we just got the leftover stuff. But at least we're not Eastern Europe or places like that.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, thanks for enlightening me. I know I'm more educated. I'm not as ignorant of an American anymore.
No. Officially, I'm Calgary Typewriter and Office Supply.
Okay.
But I just use YYC Typewriter because
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Good education here.
All right, we do have some more comments on YouTube. Let's see. So, all right, we talked about the Janky. Let's see.
Janky.
I'm still unclear about the Janky really myself, so don't worry.
Okay, so where do we go? Okay, I think I got it. Oh yes,
Bob.
Typewriter News. Bob was watching. Sorry, I'm missing you all this morning. I'm currently writing my little rebel through the middle of Arizona. Good to see everyone having a good time, even without me. And I put, and then Luke says, speaking of rubber feet, I had some success on my Remington Australian built. I was using sink plugs.
Yeah, that could work.
That's very cool.
Not perfect, but serves the purpose. And
hey, as long as it's the right size and it, fits in the holes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you use, really.
Exactly.
There's a lot of little grommets and furniture feet that work perfectly on typewriters.
Yeah.
The ones I make are ones that just aren't available as far as shapes and sizes that you can
oddballs.
Yeah.
I was at the hardware store for about an hour last week looking for parts on this little Underwood portable because the back 2 feet are different than the front 2 feet in terms of the way they mount.
Yeah. Underwoods are famous for that.
All right. Does anyone else have any comments or questions or typing prompts or?
I did a typing prompt while we were sitting here.
Oh, excellent. Go for it.
I'll apologize. It's not one of my best, but I think it's good to participate. So
yes.
If I could take my typewriter anywhere, it would be, well, right here, I guess. That's the thing. I don't really have a need to take my typewriter anywhere because my typewriter can take me to so many different places, wherever I want, actually. This is one of those things that I love about my time spent with these machines. I'm really only limited to my imagination in terms of the places I might travel to or experience. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice.
True.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. I did one while we were sitting here too.
Oh, excellent. Go for it.
Okay, so if I could take my typewriter anywhere, I would take it to the 40s or the 50s in my time machine, and I would get the parts that I need and a new platen and rollers. And then while I'm there, I would buy a whole bunch, all that I could fit in my backpack of all the supplies that I might need for my other typewriters. Then I would return to 2017, just before COVID hit, and head to Paris and sit out in one of the coffee shops outside and work on my novel. And then I would go to a pub in Oxford, in England, until they kicked me out.
Excellent. Now, time travel, that's an interesting one because, for one thing, repairs would be so cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So what would you pay with that?
Yeah, we'd have to get old money to go back with.
Yeah, you
Otherwise,
can't
it'd
really.
be like, this is kind of
You could forge
Yeah.
it. You could forge it. I've thought about this a lot because I'm always prepared to time travel. It's easier to forge older money because they didn't have all the safety features in place, and our printers are so advanced now. And Ted backed me up on this. We could do it. We just get a couple originals. We get a stack of old pound notes. We whip back to the 50s, and then you'd be like, woo.
So wait a minute, Sean. Wait a minute. If you are those old style bills still spendable today?
I think they do retire certain bills, but there are certain series of bills.
But if you want to
can
spend one, like if you had an old style $20 bill from like 20 years ago or something, you could spend it today.
You could hand it into the bank. I don't think you could spend it in a store.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of those.
But you can buy them in all those coin.
There goes my retirement plan.
Oh. I've had a visit from a treasury man that says that yes, it's very easy to accidentally forge money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We printed business cards once that looked like folded $20 bills when you open it up and it's the business card inside.
Well, that's cool.
And apparently we did it so well that the treasury got really upset about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a little visit.
Yeah.
Guy in your door.
Yeah, I know when you reproduce the image, you have to make it look completely fake. Basically.
Yeah, it has to be a different size. Has to be at least I think 20 or 15% smaller or bigger, and it can't be the same shade.
You have the picture of Alfred E. Newman as president.
So it's funny. I think I've mentioned before. I worked in the financial industry for 9 years. 9 of the worst years of my life, but anyway. So in counting we had to balance our drawers, and in counting my drawer, I happened upon a $5 bill, and I had to swap it out with one of my own fives because it was just hilarious. So someone erased the fives and very, very, very poorly drew 50 on there. And yeah, it was just such a failed effort that I had to keep it, even though it's probably illegal to even have it. But
not supposed to deface. I think that part is illegal.
Well, the people that are doing this aren't the smartest. Like when we got our new 20 years and years ago, we had a little holographic 20 up in the corner of it. And there were guys that were counterfeiting the bills, but they couldn't do the hologram. So they were cutting the hologram out of $20 bills to put on their counterfeit bills. And when the cops caught them, they found all these 20s and they went, like, you guys we're charging you for ruining real currency and also the counterfeiting. Like, you're stupid.
In Atlanta, we got a problem with all the film industry, and you'll find $100 bills laying on the ground all over, and they look like $100 bills, but they're from the movies. And they got a little bit of weirdness to them, but off the bat, you think you just found $100.
So that's from the scene when he gets shot and he slow motion throws the briefcases up in the air and all the money flutters out for miles in the wind. Yeah.
Yep. There's $100 bills everywhere around here.
Awesome.
I don't know if you get these in the mail, these little fake credit cards.
Yeah.
These are fun to put rubber cement or like a really good glue on and just stick it to the sidewalk. It kind of watches people.
So mean.
Yeah. My kids always wanted those for their fake credit card, in their
I actually pull these out of the envelopes all the time, and I keep them just in case I want to play pranks.
When you mentioned the $20 business card, I was reminded of back when I was in college. Somewhere I found this. It was like it looked like a folded $20 bill, and then when you open it up, it's like, you'll be forgiven for your temptations if you,
Yep.
So I set that out in the hallway in our house, like outside of my bedroom door, and was watching when my brother got up in the morning, and he looks around to see if any. I was like where he couldn't see up, and I just hear him laughing, and he knew I'd looked on purpose.
Oh man.
But one thing about the currency is, and I'm going to make myself big here.
Hey now.
I'm a big shot.
You're a rock star.
Literally.
Let's see here. So, thinking of American currency or U.S. currency, it to me it seems very, very drab and like not feature rich as far as, you know,
It's not as colorful. Yeah.
Exactly. So I subscribe to a service called Coin and Currency Club, and this is North Macedonia. And first of all, look at the colors.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of features on there, and like why is U.S. currency so bland?
For the same reason we still make pennies.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge constituency of people that, you know, there's a zinc industry that needs to be supported by making pennies, and you know, there's lots and lots of ATMs and you know, dollar bill acceptance machines.
That's
that
true.
have to be reprogrammed.
That's true.
Yeah. It's just, you know, a lot of industries don't want things to change.
Yeah.
Eric.
I went to Dubai a while ago. I mean, this thing's got an antelope
Ah, it's cool.
and all kind of silver stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings.
Yeah.
And it's like this thing's a watermark.
Oh yeah.
Empty space.
Yeah.
We're boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you guys have watermarks, you know, and you hold up to the light and you can see the other president or whatever. You got stuff like that.
They're subtle though.
You guys have way more color now than you used to. I mean, they've got the new 20s there. I mean, the old ones were so boring, but now there's a little more color. So you're working there eventually.
That's true. That's true.
What we don't have is various size bills. I mean, we don't have the bills where you have to fold them in thirds to put them in your wallet. Like
Yeah.
All right. Well, oh yeah.
It's fake.
Oh, that's a
yeah.
No.
He doesn't look real.
It's fake.
$1 million bill. Or what is it? Not million.
I remember when we used to have $1,000 bills, and we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Used to, yeah.
Used to have $100,000 bills.
There you go.
$1,000 bills.
Yeah.
They were used only as for transferring funds between banks before the era of wire transfer.
Well, we might end up with $1 trillion coin.
Inflation.
Go a certain way.
Yeah.
We need to avoid the debt ceiling.
As crooked as a $3.5 trillion.
William, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself there?
Excellent. Yeah.
That's good. My wife was doing announcements in church this morning, so we went to the service and just got back. And so I figured, well, now that you start at 9, I can still join in the last 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, William, I've got news for you. I got an electric typewriter.
Okay, you did right on.
Yeah. A
What
Sears
making-
Medalist 12. The hyphen doesn't work, but everything else works, so we're good.
What make and model?
Medalist 12. Sears Medalist 12. So it's a rebranded
Okay.
Smith Corona.
Yep.
I think it's just disconnected. Like I think everything's fine on the machine, just that one type bar somehow it's disconnected, and I can't fix it. So
you can fix it.
Well, don't worry about it yet. In our email conversation, you were talking about you didn't know how deep you wanted to get into service and typewriters, and well, I just started page 4 of a letter to you, and I was gonna say check and see what the local regulations are within your apartment complex to storage of solvents, oils, that sort of stuff. You say you do not have a balcony, so any product you use will have to be done indoors. Hang on.
Preferably one of your neighbor's apartments when they're not around.
My own outdoor space. Yeah, I'd have to go out to like the public parking lot or whatever.
Have you got like a common area with a picnic bench?
Yeah, there's like a little cement staircase. It leads to the parking lot. I could be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't sure whether my wife had picked up the old cat stick before she let the kitten in. That kitten is kind of greedy. Anyhow, so yes. As far as basic tools go, all I can say is start with a decent set of screwdrivers. Not the cheaper ones you get from Walmart. Go to like Lee Valley Tools, get yourself a decent set of small screwdrivers that won't damage the screw slots in the typewriters. There's an old saying, a bad workman blames his tools, but my grandmother used to have a qualifier for that. You can't do good work with poor tools.
Yep.
And yes, so that's one thing to be aware of is fire regulations with solvents and cleaners and that sort of stuff. I mean, bathroom cleaners, like for cleaning the bodywork, scrubbing bubbles, I don't imagine anybody would have a problem with because everybody uses that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and as far as the disconnected hyphen, you'll find that if you set the typewriter up on its back or upside down on a soft cushion or pillow, you should be able to remove 4 screws and the whole bottom panel comes off. Then you should be able to see all the linkages.
Well, I'll have to get brave
maybe
to
I'll
do that.
figure out what's what.
Yeah, also it weighs a
Oh,
ton.
say-
It's so heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yes,
Dwayne has a video on rehooking those that you can watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's really not as hard as you think it is.
All
I think
right.
it's
Awesome.
actually easier on electric because there's a disconnect between the key mechanism that hits the roller, and then the roller launches the type bars. So they're not directly connected to each other.
Okay.
So you may be able to just find the one place where that
Might be
linkage is
easy.
disconnected.
Excellent.
However, get used to the machine, do some typing, and feel the difference. And as I say, in the typing instruction book that I have, it says when you're typing on an electric typewriter, just stroke each key with your finger, just far enough so it engages, then the machine takes over and does the rest.
Yeah, I think that's really, I mean, strength is one thing because obviously I'm used to a computer, so I do have to like strengthen the muscles, but also it's just hitting dead center because it's not as forgiving as a computer keyboard. And my fingers are so small, they're like child size. They can actually fit in between 2 keys and not hit either key. So I have to get dead center or forget it.
You might have a great career in typewriter repairer.
Yeah, there you go.
They're really tiny.
Well, I mean, my hands here, I have trouble finding typewriters with keyboards big enough so my fingers don't hit 2 keys at once. I wear a size 13 wedding ring and have to get 2 XL gloves for the winter. Farmer's hands. Yeah.
It's such a weird thing when you're typing and your finger goes all the way down. You're like, not on any key. Where?
I've done that too.
Yep. That's where the Olivetti Letter 32 would be a handy typewriter for you. Those keys are just way too small for me.
Yeah, the 25 also, the whole keyboard is very, very compact and there's almost no space between the keys. It's pretty crazy.
I'll add that one to my list, my wish list.
Although admittedly, the Olivetti Lettera 25 is probably the worst one you can get, but
All right, thank you for the warning.
but the keyboard is interesting. It's a much different typing experience, but I would not recommend the typewriter itself, though. Yeah,
I don't know. The keyboard on the machine she's got, the electric, it should be fine because there's not.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
it
the
has a
electric-
plastic guard that keeps you from
Haven't slipped through the electric ever did.
exactly. Yeah.
Has a keyboard bezel. Yeah. Now, I did receive one interesting thing in the mail. A postcard all the way from Calgary.
Calgary.
Calgary, yes.
I wonder who that's
I now
from.
have to drive north of here.
Was it hand delivered?
Well, sorry, repeat.
Was it hand delivered?
No, it was in my mailbox. So the writing on the back says, "Hi, William. It sure does seem strange sending a postcard unstably, sending someone unstably a postcard all the way from Calgary. But here it is. So here's to having some fun with typewriters and snail mail. All the best."
Oh, that's funny. I actually get. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And last week I sent a postcard to Indonesia. I don't know how long it'll take to get that. But
Oh, that'll be interesting.
yes.
Yeah. To Marvin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent.
So
I was gonna say it's funny because I've been receiving postcards from Steve Ivan, he's tried being on here, but
I've watched your past episodes.
Yeah, and he's right here in Riverside, and he sends me postcards. So funny.
So now I did put a date on the postcard, the date it was mailed. So there should be some reference as to how long it took to get there.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That's one thing I like about the website Post Crossing. It basically tells you how long the postcard was traveling. So that's pretty handy. But I mean, you could put the date on the postcard or look at the postmark maybe.
Well, the postmarks aren't always clearly legible.
That's true. That's very true.
So what I did was to type the date vertically beside the address panel.
Okay.
In red, whereas the rest of the postcard was typed, the text was typed in black, in purple. The address was typed in black.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, it won't work with those postmarks that they take a Sharpie and they just scratch over that's not going to help you. You won't be able to.
No.
Sean, you have your hand up.
I was just trying to let the whole conversation go without trying to boom into things, but somebody had said something earlier that reminded me of my folk art project for the summer is done, so I wanted to show you guys. This is my folk art project.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
I even got the side panels in gold.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I love it.
it looks better when you're not looking at all the things I didn't paint.
So is this for typewriter supplies, like ribbons? And
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm gonna put my ribbons and other little staples and doodads and bobbins and things like that in there.
Oh, cool.
And just store all my spooled ribbons before I sell them or whatever. You know, I've got
That's
a
a
lot
really
of.
cool idea.
You collect a lot of little accoutrements, right?
Accoutrement.
Accoutrement.
Cool. Thanks for showing that.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for.
That's so great, Sean. I have one of those boxes that I got from IKEA, and I love the box, but I cannot figure out what to do with it. It's a weird size of little drawers and stuff.
Typewriter. Like
Yeah,
I went there and I saw it and I was like, that could be a typewriter. And Carol's like, oh my God.
Is everything typewriter?
I'm like, yes, I see typewriters everywhere. I can turn it into something.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Christopher, how are you?
May, and good morning, Christopher.
Sorry,
I interrupted. I said, good morning, May, and good morning, Christopher.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Nice to see everybody.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
And nice to hear your dogs.
Earlier, she was telling them to lay down, but she was doing it in a half whisper, and I felt this urge to lay down.
Well, when they hear me talking, they think they don't know who I'm talking to. So it's like they're flipping out because they can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
They're not used to you talking to yourself.
No, I don't usually do that.
I do. It's fun.
Well, I mean, I talk to them,
Okay.
you know. And oh, Ted, I wanted to tell you that, we were talking to me about making a typewriter in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently somebody has done that, and they can actually make it type onto a paper. I went over to my son's house yesterday to play Minecraft, and I told him he tried making a typewriter in the thing, but then he showed me this video and I was like, oh my God, it was amazing.
Wow.
He must have used redstone circuits to make it print.
I don't know. There was something there on the side in that game where he called him something, but it was really cool.
Wow.
So
impressive.
Yeah.
So I've heard people talk about Minecraft, but have no idea what it is.
It's
me either.
Basically a block building game. So you can get these blocks that are different materials, and you combine them in recipes basically to make things. Like one of the first things that I think you make is like a stick or something.
Well, you have to, but then you're having to, the day and the night come so fast that you have to like have a place to get into, so the guys, whatever they're called, don't get you.
There's zombies roaming around.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard.
Stressful.
It is. I was playing yesterday. I'm like, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
But it's going to take, I think, just practice of learning the key, what does what, because I'm used to playing Animal Crossing all the time. So I don't know if the motions are the same, but I'm like, I keep wanting to go up, I'm pushing down, and it was terrible. But it's going to be fun though still. So
yeah, I'm not good at those kind of games. So basically what I would do, I would find a nice place and dig a hole and then create a cover with just one opening. And I'd have that ready for nighttime. When night came, I could jump in there.
You could get in. Yeah, because my son kept saying, get in the bed. And I said, I don't know how. Well, put it on. I'm like, I'm doing it. It's not working. And then he's like, he's out there killing these things and I'm trying to get in the bed and it ain't working. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But we had a blast. It was
I'm going
so
back to my
much
typewriters.
fun. Yeah, exactly. It was fun though.
I do wonder if that typewriter was added to the game, or the ability to make that typewriter was added to the game because of the whole typewriter Lego thing.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask my son because he's really into that. So yeah,
that would be interesting. So Christopher, is there anything in your world?
Oh, not anything new here. I've got my typewriter still in the shop. I keep calling him and he says, well, so he looked yesterday or Friday and said, I need the bell fixed because we've gotten the platen recovered. And he said, there's a little tab that's worn out. So I will look for a part and maybe you can come and get it and use it in the meantime. So we'll see what Monday brings.
Okay. We'll keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just don't try and type that way.
I know. Although, with my two finger typing, it wouldn't be so bad.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Oh, man. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. So I forget the guy's YouTube channel right now. I don't remember it, but he has these videos where basically all he does is he sets a typewriter up outside and he just types. Well, while he's typing, he's also conversing with the viewers. He's essentially talking to himself, or since he's just recording it. But so he was talking about how, and he prefaced what he said by saying, I hope no one takes offense at this, but so I
offensive sentence following that.
I slightly took offense at it. So basically he said that anyone that refers to a machine, a typewriter, as being, what was the word he used? Not pristine, but there's a word.
Mint.
Well, a word for a typewriter that just works beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So he said anyone that uses that word and types with two fingers has no business assessing that machine. So I politely told him that You know,
Screw that.
Yeah,
You only need one finger to reply to that.
Using a word like that, how do I put it? It's a personal judgment. So it has nothing to do with how a person types. And I also kind of took a jab at him because just in the first half of the page that he was typing, he jammed the keys at least 10 times. And so I mentioned, you know, there could be someone that is even more experienced than you that perhaps doesn't jam the keys 10 pages. That might be better suited to use this word than you. And you know, it ended on a good note. We basically just agreed to
disagree.
Also, you're not the boss of me.
Yeah.
There is that.
But that aside, I will say he has a good channel. I want to say it's something like Heidelberg something, but I'm probably way off. I know it starts with an H and it's like a foreign name or word. But yeah, he just has these videos where he takes a typewriter out and sets it on, presumably, much like I have this on right now, just a little folding TV table, and just types away. He was doing like an SG1 and the one I was commenting on was I think SM3. Yeah, so, but I was just happy to find another typewriter related channel because and I had to do a deep dig for it.
They're hard to find. They're very hard. I'm looking on YouTube all the time, and it's
We already all are.
Yeah, exactly.
Would quit.
Oh man.
I saw that Dr. Typewriter visited you guys a few weeks ago. I enjoy his channel a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he has some really cool videos.
While we are, I just saw Joe Van Cleve there. That reminded me. I know we had an Ask Joe Van Cleve a few weeks ago. Was that recorded? And if so, where would I find it?
On my YouTube channel.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, everything for everything for this is right here on my YouTube channel. So yeah. More specifically, I can go back and give you a link, but I should have made posts about them, but
you can also ask Joe Van Cleve, and I'll answer. I'll give the question to him, and he'll answer through me. And,
you might know someone who knows him, and
I might know somebody.
By the way, I will say I've had thoughts of doing like little mini interviews. They wouldn't be live; they'd be like, you know, recorded little mini interviews of just any type pal who's willing to do it. So if that's
that'd
something
be cool. I would watch. I'm addicted to all your videos. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
you do an interview
then.
More content, Gregory. More content, Gregory.
Yes.
Well, because I'm so disappointed that other than these live streams, my channel is so focused on like fountain pens and stationery and stuff.
That's still cool.
I need more.
What you need, Gregory, is more. You need more clickbait. Okay.
Yes.
You got to have clickbait. So.
I know.
you need a title like "I'm giving this all up."
Mm.
And then it's not really about giving up the channel. It's about, you know, I don't know, something totally different. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he
all
could
the,
say
all the dried out ribbons you've been hanging on.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
Or maybe a clickbait that says I'm giving this all away, and what he means is
yes, exactly.
Watch till the end.
Typewriters.
No, I think if you seriously, if you just follow your passion, right, and just do something passionately, and people will notice, I think.
Enthusiasm is contagious. One of the fountain pen channels I watch regularly, Chris Sains, I think is her, how do you pronounce her last name?
Yes.
I just love whatever she talks about. She could talk about paint drying on a wall, but she's so enthusiastic and
She's wonderful.
talks to you as if it's a chat, not like a presentation. And I just love everything.
Yeah.
I've gone out and bought the inks that she was using because I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I want that one. And the same thing with you guys with the typewriters. Oh, I have to have that one now.
Yeah,
enthusiasm is contagious.
Yes, I've bought fountain pens she's shown. I've bought stationery she's shown. Yeah.
You know, if somebody were to put a channel on various clocks from all over the world, you could call it Eclectic Talk.
Oh, that's good. Bill, you had a comment?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure to say this while they're both still here, or all of you are still here. But earlier, Ted was talking about, have you ever found a typewriter that you forgot that you bought? And it's like, it kind of reminded me, I've only been I've been involved with these machines for a year now. I'm still kind of a newbie at all this, but when I first joined this group, I made a point to thank Ted and Joe for their efforts. And I'm still watching Joe's videos. I just bought my 4th typewriter Bible. And so I'm still saying thank you to them for maintaining their energy and continuing their efforts to make these resources available for all of us, not getting so burnt out on these things that they just stop, it's obviously it's passion based. But I remain grateful to them for their efforts, and for yourself, obviously, as well, Gregory, for, continuing to provide us with a chance to gather here on a weekly basis.
Here.
All good stuff.
Yeah. Agreed.
It is our pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ted and Joe's
It's good
excellent
stuff.
adventure.
I appreciate it. Well, you just you recently, Joe, you did the video on ribbon reversal systems, and I just went through an experience with that tornado machine that I purchased, where the only reason that the ribbon reversal mechanism wasn't working is because it needed the slightly larger 2 1/8 inch diameter spools, and it's kind of like fascinating to think that somebody's already dived into this subject in detail so that people could find that there are differences in these machines, and sometimes those newer to them may not even think about, so it's all helpful stuff that it keeps on giving. I mean, those videos are useful now as well as in the future, as long as they're still out there for people to find. And the typewriter Bibles are available for people to order if they end up with a different machine that they didn't have before. And so it's just really good stuff.
I agree.
Thank you.
Here.
Yeah. And some of those fixes to us who are familiar with them are so simple, and yet other people, I say newbies, don't recognize them. Like, I was at a store in Banff called Ginkgo and Ink up in Harmony Lane. And the girl there had a selection of typewriters, and she said she had a problem with one, that the ribbon was not advancing. They had these plastic spools with the inserts in them, and the insert was on the top side, so the pin had nothing to bite into. It was a solid colored ribbon. Pull the spools out, turn them side for side, put them back in, fixed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's silly things like that, like putting it on stencil and not realizing it's on stencil. I'm like, why is this working? Oh, okay. Or a carriage lock that you didn't know you locked, and like, oh, it's seized. No, it's not. It's just the carriage lock.
Or if it's a Hermes 3000 and you push the 2 margins setting button like that, and you hang it up to the front counter at the thrift store, and this is broken. Can I get like 50% off? I've never done that. No, I've never done that.
Oh god.
Facebook groups are full of that sort of requests for help, which is, you kind of wish they'd search, but
Yeah.
But have to answer the same question over and over again.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, their first thought nowadays is just ask on social media.
Yeah, I think some people forget to use Google.
Yeah.
I
Well, we
search
breed
for
laziness
story.
through technology nowadays, right? So it's easier to ask than actually go searching for it, because it is hard to surface some things and some weird things like typewriters if you don't know where to look. So, but we are technology, and I'm going to get on my soapbox about typewriters. Technology breeds laziness, and we see that even on Google when you got the absolute world at your fingertips. People still don't search the simplest things.
True.
You need to learn how to learn first.
Yeah.
That's not me. Not me.
Somebody's getting beat.
Your dog's talking back to you.
Not me.
May, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I got a late start, but better late than never. Good to see everyone.
Sure. And what are you typing?
Well, a typing prompt.
Ooh, very good.
I'm a little shy about it because I'll read it and then I'll make the decision. So today's typing prompt asks us if I could take my typewriter anywhere. And as I was working on it last night, I did my homework, Gregory. It began to sound like a song to me. It's simple, and I only got as far as one verse, but I might go with it. Would you like to hear a typewriter song?
Yes.
As long as you sing it.
I will. Yeah, with guitar. I'll have to fix the Zoom so it doesn't do the noise canceling.
Yeah.
So let me change that and then go grab my guitar. Let's see. How do you do suppress noise?
Should be
low. Okay.
Original
sound. You want original sound on.
Okay. Low. Okay, I think I did it. Wait, let's see. Can you hear the typewriter?
Yep.
So background sound is on. Okay, let me grab my guitar.
This is exciting.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Concert.
A concert, a typewriter song. See, typewriters inspire me.
Let's make it clear that this is not raising the bar for all typewriter prompts from now on. Because I'm not going to be able to do anything like this.
We all have to write a song.
Well, I have to write a song now.
Learn an
Let's see.
instrument.
I probably should change the microphone too, because it's on Bluetooth, so it's going to sound really weird and loud. I'm screaming into the. Let me fix that part too. Let's turn this off. Well, I don't know if there'll be an echo though. Well, you tell me. I got to do sound check. So can you hear the guitar?
Oh yeah.
Can you hear the guitar?
Yeah,
wonderful.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, Typewriter Club Live, Type House. Here's my typing prompt. Oh wait, we got to get the camera so you can a little higher so I can see.
Gregory, can you make her big?
There we go.
Yes, I was just gonna do that.
Oh gosh. Oh no, pressure. Oh gosh.
Don't look at the screen.
All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. If I could take my typewriter anywhere, let me think. Well, then I'd surely like to take my machine outside. Oh yeah. On a bright sunny day, I would type away all the important things I've always wanted to say. On a typewriter, I could lose my mind. With my fingers on the keys, I could write what I please anytime. Oh yeah. Every page after page, I could laugh and I'd rage of my stride. Do, 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 do. I type letters to my friends to say how much I love them in my life. Do, 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 do. On my typewriter under the blue sky. If I could take my typewriter anywhere, oh yeah, let me think, then I would surely like to take my machine outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That
That was awesome.
That was great.
That really was.
Very nice.
Ruby,
That
too.
made me nervous, but
Oh man, Typewriter Club live event ever.
Bravo, bravo.
the
My new
first
theme song.
typewriter song.
That was
we-
awesome.
That's awesome.
I feel honored.
That was awesome.
Dang.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
How do you need to
Gregory, you
record that
could,
with a
Play
good
that at the
microphone?
beginning of each live
I
stream.
know, huh?
Yeah.
Can we do some backup?
I typed it up. There we go. Oops, I'm doing something weird here with my flash. But I typed it up on my large font typewriter
Ah,
so that I could see it, while I
yeah.
play it. So this.
I want to be backups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
in the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So I'm glad this is recorded on YouTube because I'm going to go and replay this all day when I'm working on typewriter.
I was thinking it would be better if you could do like typewriter percussion. So maybe next time we can have a concert, you can do the percussion.
Oh yeah.
Have you got a recording set up with like multi-track?
I can do it. I've just never done it before.
You should.
Back in the old days,
All right, guys, I gotta go.
You have a 4-track cassette recorder you could send her, right?
If I had a 4-track cassette recorder, I would be using it for drone tape.
Oh, excellent,
Exactly
excellent.
So I
Oh.
got this in
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
early
Perfect.
90s, and this is how I learned how to play music and guitar and this thing. So I could try.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do it.
Sweet.
Try doing a typewriter.
That'd be so fun.
My brother has a recording studio right next door here, so you could come here and we can record you professionally. And
Oh.
And then you have a theme for the typewriter
And I'll
club
have
live.
It's a great,
Yeah.
it's one.
I love that.
Wow.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yes. Very well done. I used to play tuba, but that's not going to work out so well.
It could be the bass or the beat, right?
It's kind of hard to sing at the same time as you're playing the tuba.
That's true.
right.
That's true.
Right.
That would be a sight to see.
And a hear to hear.
The typewriter marching band. I can see it now.
Yeah.
There is a typewriter orchestra in England, I believe.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Boston something typewriter.
One in
Yeah.
Boston, yeah. Boston
I love the
typewriter
thought
orchestra.
though of the marching typewriter group, little tables in front of them as they go down the street typing.
Mhm.
Rolling.
Very cool.
Well, I think that's the best typing prompt that we've heard today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
right? That's
Probably ever.
yeah, probably ever.
Aw,
I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll work on a theme song for Typewriter Club Live next.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Hey.
That would be awesome.
Then we can all sing it together, like the
Yeah.
regiment.
Oh, that would be great.
That's good.
I think what people heard was my wife getting rather cross at one of the kittens who probably got into
Oh.
the hot dog buns.
Oh,
Nice.
we haven't said hi to Mike Derling yet. How are you, Mike?
Not.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I'm doing all right. How about everybody there? We're
Good.
sorry I got in here so late. I had some household things to take care of, but I'm down in the garage and I point at the ceiling so you don't see the mess down here, but I'm actually trying to make something up on the press here. So
Oh.
but I don't know if I can show that, without just sort of waving the camera around. But
Yeah.
You can pull it on the page and show it to
It's been
us.
done before. Let me zoom in here.
see it or not.
There you
Yeah,
are.
you can also see the mess out here. But, well, let me see. I'm trying this.
Oh, cool.
That is
Oh, yes.
awesome.
I ignore.
Oh, very
the
nice.
stargazers.
Nice.
Celebrate the stargazers. Love it.
Hey.
That is cool.
So true.
So anyway, that's the project for this afternoon.
Nice.
Hey, Mike, as an FYI, I never trust a clean garage.
Well,
That's right.
I've probably got one of the most trustworthy garages in existence.
I like it.
There you go.
That's cool
See,
for
my
now.
problem is not that I have too many typewriters. I have too many things. You know, I mean, I'm tripping over sewing machines here, and there's tools, and there's another press, and there's a gigantic photo enlarger here, and you know, plus of course the garden tractor and the tiller and the instruments I was trying to make and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff down here.
Your garage just sounds flat out awesome.
Yeah.
Being a person with many interests, I'm running into that myself.
Yep.
All the computers over here, which you know, only not many are visible, but you know, it's.
And I think I've said this before, but my grandmother used to have a saying, "The creative mess is far prettier than idle tidiness."
Yeah,
That's right.
That bears
Well, this is
repetition.
beautiful here.
Yeah.
And my roommate in college, she put a note on my desk and it said, "A cluttered mind or cluttered desk reflects a cluttered mind." And so I put a note on her desk that said, "An empty desk reflects an empty
Slap back.
That's good.
And my work desk was really a mess.
Oh.
I had a cluttered mind.
All right, let's see. We have, let me share this again. We have a few more comments here. Yeah, so let's see, we were talking about the sync plugs. And Ink Guy, I love his channel, by the way. He says, so now there will be drama in the typewriter community. I'm not sure specifically what who's referring to there, but
I think that was your story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, excellent. And then Diane says, would like to be there, but am out with the family today. So, and you know, I don't expect anyone to be here every time, but
Well, we miss it probably more than you would miss us, right? We're like, oh, I'm missing Type Club.
I don't know, because earlier there was like 2 or 3 weeks where we didn't have it, and I found myself missing you guys. I was like, I miss my people.
Yeah, I missed you guys when I was out.
I happened to be on vacation while you were
Yeah.
on your vacation, so it worked out
Yeah.
perfectly for me. And then we had the 2 interviews, which were great as well.
Yes.
I really enjoyed those.
Yeah. All right. Well, does anybody have any typing prompts or questions or comments before we wrap up here?
I'm never doing a typing prompt again after that one.
Yeah, she set the bar very high.
Yeah, I had a typing prompt, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
on that note.
Come on, Ted. We need
No. We got to leave on the good note.
Okay.
Go ahead and sing it, Ted.
Time I'll do mine last. Okay.
Yeah, you set the bar like one for pole vaulting.
Right. We don't want to be anticlimactic. Right?
Story of my life.
Perhaps you can put it in one of your blog posts, though, so it doesn't.
Maybe I could, or a one-type page. Maybe
There you go.
A one-type page.
As long as it gets out there, we can still enjoy it. So
I like to cross-platform these things so that everybody gets a little slice and encouraged to view the other media.
A little bit of Ted for everyone.
Yep.
I must admit, anytime you mention Typewriter Club Live in your blog, I always get a little thrill. So,
well, it tends to be almost every post because, you know, this is like the topper to my week. And, you know, often a lot of the discussion topics tend to be something I want to talk more about. And so I end up doing a blog post and then just, you know, embedding the video in there anyway. So,
so
hopefully that helps. I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of people come here and view the site that found out about it from the blog, because
that'd be great.
It's good to push your media in different directions, and you know, even embedding it in the Facebook groups, and you know, give everybody a taste and see if they like it.
I think I've been bad about sharing the the streams in the groups afterwards.
You certainly have.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel guilty that, I'm always posting in the group, like, promoting that it's starting. And I feel like I don't want to spam the groups, but I guess the content is good content. So
I think you should, instead of doing the, hey, we're starting, because usually those posts don't show up for me until after. They show up on Monday usually.
Yes.
So I would, if I were you, embed the actual video that results.
Okay.
We
Maybe
were
I'll do
talking about
that.
these subjects,
Admittedly, I do hate doing those posts like, okay, we're about to start now.
Yeah, I don't think they work either, because Facebook tends to show them to you at different times. And honestly, I'll see one show up 3 hours after the video's done, and then I'll see one show up on Monday, and I'll see one show up on Tuesday. I actually had one show up almost a week later.
Oh my goodness.
Facebook is really kind of flaky about when they show the post that you've made.
Yeah.
Facebook is janky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think one of my cousins was having some sort of medical issue, and it was like, pretty important. And so I just saw the post. So I was like, oh my goodness, I better comment. And then I saw that it was like from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's like, my goodness, this is not news.
That happens a lot. So I think you should always do afterwards.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Posting the actual video content.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you'll get more engagement that way.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Ted.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, if anyone doesn't have anything else, I think we're going to wrap up here. But as usual, I think Kara is going to say something.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, just listening to people, and I know that they were joking and stuff, but I had that same response to May's fabulous song, like, oh, fine, I'm never doing a prompt again, or that kind of silliness. And I just want to reframe that for myself and other people. Like, this is inspiration to me. This is not like competition. This isn't like,
right.
I want to be like, look, well, shoot, we could be doing like interpretive dance typewriter prompts, and
wait, don't give Gregory any ideas there.
You first, Kara. You first.
Yeah. All right.
No, you're right.
Here's the next typing prompt. You have to dance out the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
I'm busy. I'll be busy the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What if I've only got cats?
And I have cat-sized dogs, so it works.
I was watching earlier when both Brenda and Kara had their dogs sitting on their laps, and I was waiting for them to recognize each other.
Oh, yeah.
The last dog that we adopted, she will watch TV with us. And anytime she sees another animal on the screen, she goes berserk.
That's what Nora does.
So if I had pulled her in her, she would have looked right at the screen and just started going full on crazy.
Yeah.
She's kind of camera shy, so she hardly was like looking at the thing. She kind of was, I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah. That's funny.
Right. Over to you, Gregor. Okay, so next week, we're interpretive dancing, quick round.
Yes, yes. Bonus points for interpretive dancing. You'll get regular points if you just mime it. But,
Do we have a stand-in that does the dance for us?
Sure.
My daughter to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
so are we going to do a postcard exchange this week, or?
Oh yes, thank you for mentioning that. It is I believe the deadline is tomorrow.
Okay.
So be sure and if you're not registered on typepals.com, register. It's free, and then you'll be able to see it, because you have to be a member and signed in order to see it. And the last response was just phenomenal. It was amazing. I want to say it was well over 30 people. Yeah. So yeah. So please do.
Is it a lot of work?
Do you do those?
Like, is it hard for you to like assign the people, or?
There's some work to it, especially the way I'm choosing to do it, because the way I choose to do it, sending just what is kind of an anonymous link to each participant, and then they have to click on it to actually find out who they're paired with. So I think that makes it a little exciting, There was some talk, I think, a week or two ago about making it, I could just have a drawing like out of a hat or something and do a video. But I don't know. For one thing, I don't know that I like everybody seeing who everybody else is paired up with.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think we'll stick with this for now. The last time I did it, I had my technique down and it didn't take a horrible amount of time. So
cool. That's what I was just worried about. We were burdening you if we sign up or giving you extra work.
No. Well, plus the last couple I've chosen not to participate myself because it's just one more thing on the agenda that I need to do, and yeah, it's a little thing, but at the same time, it's another thing off my plate that gives me time to do other things for Type Pals. So,
well, I thought about if you would have everyone listed, numbered and listed down, okay, in a list, and everyone had a number. You would just say, find your name, count down 5 spaces, that's your partner, or do something like that. So, and then, or the next week you count down 2 spaces, or they might not be able to count down, right? That might be easier for you than having to pair people. You just say,
I think it's easier to do something the way that you already do it than try and learn somebody else's way, even if it's objective.
Yeah. Yeah, I just worried about your workload. Is there something I can do to help?
Oh, I appreciate it. And you never know, I might take you up on that. We'll see.
and I'm serious. I will. I'm an office administrator. I'm sure I can do something.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we might have to talk then.
How often does the postcard exchange take place?
Once a month, I think.
Yeah, the 3rd Monday of the month. So, yeah. So, that is tomorrow, right? Is tomorrow the 3rd?
Tomorrow is the 11th. Shouldn't be the 11th.
Yes.
So tomorrow will be is it the 3rd Monday already?
No.
I thought it was the 18th.
18th will be.
When it goes out.
Okay, so the 18th. All right. But still, register.
Yeah.
Register for the event. Sign up for Type Pals, first of all. Register for the event. And it really is a blast. And I'm glad so many people are enjoying it. So, and of course, what I like about the postcards is, a letter is, and we've talked about this before, a letter is quite a commitment, but a postcard, you can knock that out in, a few minutes. So, yeah. Depending on how creative you are. Yeah.
Good reason to fire up Mothra for me.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, man.
What a
All
beast
right.
that thing is.
Yeah, I had a question about postcard postage mailing to Canada. Can you use the forever postcard stamps
No.
in Canada, or do you have to use a forever international stamp on a postcard? Even though the postcard in the US is less than first class mail rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'd have to use the international. Yeah, we don't have, in Canada, we don't have a postcard rate. It's
okay.
Your domestic stamp or your international stamp, it's the same if I want to send you a letter, or it costs me the same money.
Okay. Very good.
And as Kimberly says, in Canada, anything up to and including 30 grams is one price. Then 31 to 50 grams is another price. Then 51 to 100 grams.
Yeah, there's oversized, but I mean, a letter or a postcard, if it's within the regular dimensions, it's the same price.
Yeah.
I was going to say May is telling us goodbye.
Oh.
Oh.
Bye, May.
Bye.
Bye, May.
Oh no, I'm just typing the
Okay.
goodbye.
Oh.
I'm not leaving until you shut this thing off.
Until you kick us out, we're not going.
We refuse to go. We're going to be in your living room all day, Gregory. Sorry.
I always linger when Greg says, "Okay, let's time to wrap it up." And
Be hilarious.
Oh, look at the time. I got places to go.
Who's your at? What's your?
Greg just walks away and he checks in every half hour or so. Yep, they're still there. They're still going. They're
I bet you actually could just leave this thing going and people would stay and talk. Little
Probably.
town square.
Yeah. Audience would join in at a weird hour. Yep.
Did you guys ever do that in real life? When you go visit somebody, did you ever purposefully overstay your welcome, just not leave?
Just wait and see if they're going to say something. No, I've not purposely done that yet, but I will.
I don't think Joe could overstay his welcome.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
On the other hand, I'm making plans to travel to Albuquerque in a couple of weeks. So
we're gonna be gone that week. No, I'd love to see you, Bill.
Oh, excellent.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
gonna sign off here then.
All right. Well, thank
Hi,
you so
Joe.
much, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
It's been a blast.
thanks for
We'll
Take
see you
care.
next
Bye all.
week.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Happy typing.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Click the button.